Welcome to Hester Brothers Cartoon Theater, everybody! That whole thing got in, right? I didn't cut myself off halfway through?
No.
Audience.
No, you should be here.
Alright, I hope that you heard all
our
of that.
Our desktop audio might have been a little loud. Hi everyone, how's it going?
I welcomed you, if you didn't hear it. Welcome, welcome, welcome.
Good to see everyone. I'm also sorry you're not feeling well, Arrow. The potato.
This is exciting, Lucas.
Yes.
We are here. We are streaming. We are live. I love being live. I've enjoyed doing this so much since we started doing it. Wednesdays, probably not going to be the normal streaming time, but we'll be here sometimes on Wednesdays. I'd start looking out on Monday afternoon nights, which might be
usually
nothing depending on your time zone.
Yeah.
But around this time on Mondays, typically is going to become standard.
Yeah, around this time on Monday, I'd say. Switch to a new phone. Sorry if you don't recognize me. The home provider? I feel like I recognize.
No problem. And listen, if you've never been to a stream before, anybody who's hopping in for one of our first streams, welcome.
Welcome.
We're excited today to talk about your favorite shows and answer some of your questions about those shows. Whoa, I see Max Hatter in there. It has been a long time. I haven't seen you in the Discord in a hot second. Actually, a few people. I saw Tess today in the Discord too for the first time in a while. I was happy to see it. Yes, listen, no matter how long you've been gone, you are always welcome back as one of our people.
Back.
You know, maybe we haven't been covering one of the shows that you're excited for lately.
I have an expiration date of about 2.3 years. If you're gone that long, just stay. Just go. I'm just kidding.
Done. Absolutely.
Now, you all might notice that right now I have pulled up our YouTube channel. So today we're going to be talking about a little bit of a review of the whole last year that we've covered, everything that we saw and everything that we talked about. And we thought it would make sense to just go through it the same way we went through it. Historically, we're not really going to try and watch our videos because that'll get annoying, I think.
Yeah, the double fade of...
Yeah, maybe there will be moments that we will remember and try and highlight on, but let's just take a look here and see where we started. So this was our Q&A from last year.
Oh, yes, it was!
Was obviously super duper popular, so we're doing it again. No, I'm just kidding. This one wasn't live, it was a very different format. I just watched the entire season of Dead End. Dead End, yeah. I'm glad you got to see that, have that experience, because Dead End is wonderful, and one of the things that we'll be talking about today. What's up, Mystery Mo? Welcome back. Welcome everybody.
Yeah, I feel like we've got a good crowd right now. I think there's a lot of people hanging out.
Yeah, it's good to see everyone here. If you're just coming in, we got our affiliate status on Twitch recently. If you're on YouTube, that means nothing to you because we've had membership statuses and stuff forever on YouTube. So if you ever want to contribute at any point during the stream, we have sound effects and stuff programmed. Actually, I don't know if that'll work for YouTube, but, it is what it is.
Sure. Well... And I was gonna say something extremely wise and extremely smart, and as I started to pick up what you were saying, I frankly lost track of it.
Oh, well.
But I will say this, people. Today, we're walking through the year. In addition to that...
Abandon YouTube for Twitch laws.
Sorry. Oh, yeah. See, that's part of the problem, is I read the chat, and then I immediately, pull myself out. I gotta stop. I promise you, though, I'll read chat. Basically, some of you may have seen that I put out a survey for HBCT in 2023, as we're kind of trying to get some insights from what you would all want to see going forward for the channel. We have different ideas, sort of want to get a feel for also just the types of things that we could do, the things that we could try, and whether you'd all still be interested. I don't know, what are the insights?
Wait, are you asking people to fill out the survey still?
Oh, I mean, they could. Yeah, if anybody hasn't filled out the survey yet and you want to, I actually have 88 responses, which is 12 shy of my goal, so you're more than welcome.
Yeah, you can find it on the Discord, yeah.
Yeah, the
and
Discord.
It's on the community for YouTube as well.
Exactly. But I've gotten some really helpful insights, and one of those is that it seems like at least the people who really enjoy our channel, the types of people who would do the survey and really enjoy HBCT, enjoy the discussions. And they have some interest in us doing post-show discussions of some of the shows that we cover. And we figured it might be a really fun way to go through the past year by kind of doing a post-show discussion for everything. And
yes, indeed.
I feel like the easiest way to do this, like you said, is to kind of cover the major shows that we covered one at a time. maybe for like a good, gosh, I won't even put a timestamp on it. We'll see how it feels.
The survey is just regarding like questions about what you guys want for the channel. I don't know how much of there is for chat delay. That's something we're still. I think it's not that bad. I'm pretty sure. It's not that bad for Twitch. Another point for Twitch if it's worse for YouTube, which it might be.
Yeah, sure. So, again, your feedback matters. You know, I'm already learning a bunch of interesting things that I didn't necessarily think were things that people wanted out of the channel, and I'm finding out they actually did.
Yeah.
So that's why we ask, you know, because sometimes we think that we've got great ideas, and then it doesn't always resonate the way that we want, or there's ideas that we want to do, but we don't think people are going to like them, and then you tell us that you will. And we're like, oh, wow, all right, that's good. We would love to try this.
And also, sometimes you guys think you have good ideas, but then the stats that you answer tell us different things, and that's also very helpful to know.
Yeah, there you go. So, basically what I'm thinking, Lucas, let's start with the first show. Let's do a little recap and review ourselves, and then let's open it for questions.
Okay. So technically at the very start of the year, we were in the middle of Centaur World, so it's not actually a show from last year, but we watched it last year, so I think it's fair grounds for talking about.
Definitely.
Mostly because it also is kind of one of the things that kind of helped our show get a little bit more popular, our YouTube channel. That's when we started seeing a little bit higher view count. And in terms of what how good the show was and how much we liked it, I'd say it was pretty phenomenal in the scheme of things. I remember it just being super fun and silly. You want to look at it for a second?
Sure. Are you actually?
I'm just gonna click on this random episode. This is gonna be interesting.
Yeah.
I'm gonna hopefully find a silly. Let's try to find a silly.
They can't flag us for our content, right?
That'd be so funny.
Well, but there is Centaur World like on there, so I don't know if they might pick it up.
Well, that's fair, but you can't get flagged. If you did get flags for your own content, which actually can happen, you actually have to file a counter copyright claim where you just tell them that it's yours.
Gotcha.
And then they go, oh yeah, it is.
So I am a little worried about putting up a visual of a show and having YouTube stop us.
I wouldn't be too worried about it. I mean, we're not going to watch that long of it.
Sure.
Let's just try to find a cool part that was really funny. Do you remember this episode?
Oh, yeah. No, I mean, this was an episode where the character Glendale basically emulated this person, Elizabeth Holmes, who's famous for, like, a really, I guess what was considered a good TED Talk, but she actually didn't know anything, and it was all basically a scam. And they went hard on this, and I felt like something that was cool about Centaur World is they weren't afraid to go for, like, the inside heavy jokes.
Yeah.
And this was just one of those examples.
Yeah, there were some, and also Glendale just being, like, fairly unhinged constantly. Yeah, this was a really wild show to react to. I would say that...
Oh, what
Mr.
happened?
Remo! They gifted subs.
Yes, thank you so much, Mr. Remo. We are aiming for our 100 subs as the very next goal. So anybody who is able to help start to move toward that would be helpful. And especially if you gift those descriptions in Twitch, they'll go to whoever's in Twitch, which is another reason for y'all to watch in Twitch instead of YouTube.
Yes, indeed. And also, I'm just going to copy-paste that into here so that everybody can see our sub goal, because I forgot to do that.
Oh, okay, yes, okay. The goal is now posted. That's the ultimate goal.
See.
So, Lucas, videos aside, Centaur World as an isolated animated show.
Yeah.
I
hope Google Images doesn't end up this being problematic.
Yeah, no,
I won't go too far into Google Images. You can find some weird stuff.
Yeah, and I guess that we should say that spoilers are probably somewhere on the table. We're not gonna like go out of our way to spoil things.
We won't spoil big plot points, but like there will be things.
Yeah. So what I'm wondering a little bit is, where does Centaur World sit in animation history when you think, when we think about Centaur World 20 years in the future? What are we looking back and saying, like, because I feel like this is going to be an underrated gem that ends up...
That's what I was going to say. I don't think that history's going to care much about it, and the reason is because Netflix had a way of kind of shafting all of its best shows. But I think that anybody who saw it and people that know about it, and I think that this is, like, telling because of the fandom that kind of developed out of it as well.
Yep.
Like, it's such a wild, creative, like, funly written... musically talented, like, it's good for so many reasons. Honestly, it's just one of the funniest shows that I've ever seen. In terms of, like, pure comedy and how much you and I have laughed watching a show. It was just so funny.
Yeah. It held up so well for all ages. It's one of those shows that, you know, no matter who watches it, you're going to be entertained by what you're seeing.
Absolutely.
Depending on who you are, you might be like, whoa, this is a little bit weird for me. But we love that. You know, it's trippy and sometimes stupid, but still fun. Yeah. And I think the biggest takeaway was for sure the incredible soundtrack, which I still listen to on Spotify because I think the voice talent is terrific. In fact, I think they even win as far... I don't remember what award show it was, so I don't want to say an Emmy because some animated projects have been introduced into the Emmy Awards recently. But for some award, the casting director won an award for the casting of the show, which I think is absolutely the right choice because the voices on this just did such a phenomenal job throughout. Centaur World did something interesting a lot of the time for me too, where it's not an uncanny valley, but you would have an expectation and suddenly it would just twist it a little bit and just get dark for a second. And
the reason it's not uncanny valley is because it's cartoony enough that it like if it felt more like realistic human, I think it would probably have felt a little worse. Maybe, like another show that we might actually talk a little bit about later, if I recall.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I mean, this was just, it was so colorful and vibrant and fun. And even when it did get a little, like, weirdly demonic and dark, it did so in a really charming way, you know? Especially because you're watching this kids show with, like, the first episode, there's, like, you know, butt houses and stuff. And then every once in a while, you just get these super dark moments where you're like, what is this place? Is this worth... And it never really... I mean, like, there were a lot of dark themes in it, but it always seemed like it was going to get darker than it did. And that anticipation was so much fun to live through, you know?
And it's interesting. This one's almost hard to review because, of course, it's the very first series that we ever covered all the way through.
I will say, I won't spoil the ending, but the ending, the more that I think about it, is there's an element of it that's disappointing. Again, it's a pretty big spoiler, so I won't say it specifically if you haven't finished the show. But I do think that, in my opinion, there's one thing that was, like, not... And again, I can't dance around it, so I can't really talk about it.
You know what's interesting? The more I think about the ending, the less disappointed I am.
Really? The more I just think, like...
And it's hard... It sucks that we can't really elaborate on that right now, but I think that's the right choice, because if you haven't seen Centaur World and you found it through something else...
It's really good for
watching. I'm telling you, it's worth your time.
Yeah, I don't think that, like, the ending ruins it by any stretch of the imagination. I just have my little critiques.
Yeah, I do think that Season 1 was extremely strong, and Season 2 was good, but it was there to land the ship. And I would have loved to, I guess, just explore more of the world and been able to see this story maybe extend a little bit more. I don't know. It's interesting because a show like Gravity Falls, we look at, we're like, it ended right at the perfect time. Disney would have made it longer, but Alex Hirsch had an idea of how he wanted it to end. Yep. And Centaur World seems like, you know, it was always designed for this 2-season arc, 20 episodes. I would have enjoyed another 10 maybe. And that might be a...
Yeah,
maybe be careful what you wish for.
No, I don't think so. That's going to be a theme, I think, in what we talk about today, is that we wish things were longer. Also want to interject really quick. Thank you, everybody, for being here, both from YouTube and Twitch. Our numbers are good now, and I appreciate you all being here. It makes me very happy.
Yeah, there's so many people. And I'm going to say, as we continue to finish this review, feel free to start asking questions about Centaur World.
Yep.
We're going to go show by show, so you will have chances to ask more about the other shows soon.
Yeah.
It's hard. We're usually in the business of just enjoying things and not doing proper reviews, right? So, but
no, that's not how I feel at all. I am in a completely... Well, I totally disagree. I way prefer to completely immerse myself in review and go critical through the whole experience.
What I mean by that is we never give a review number. We have never historically been hey, I rate this out of 10. Well, and I mean, it's still a review what we're doing, but like...
I see what you mean, like, in terms of a rate.
Or a ranking even. It's like, is it even on the table for us to rank these? Because I don't... You know, I almost don't want to disappoint people if they find out that we enjoyed a show less than they thought we did. Does that make sense?
What precisely is the plot of Centaur World? Essentially, it's an isekai anime. Somebody found themselves in another world, and they're in a horse, and now they can, or they're a horse that found themselves in another world, and now they can talk. That's actually pretty much the plot. And now they're kind of trying to find their way back, but there's also other things going on with, like, war. It's more complex, but the gist of it is a horse found themselves in a...
I would say but I think what's something to highlight is that it's a very bizarre world. It's something that weird things happen. It's not even ever really fully explained.
I think there was a phrase that I used to describe it that was like acid sugar dream or something like that. Ooh. Do you remember that?
Oh my gosh.
It was in like one of the first episodes too.
Yeah, no, and it was a good description, whatever you said.
Yeah.
I mean, it's definitely trippy. It's the kind of thing that, you might see when you were hallucinating. And for somebody like myself who never wants to have that experience for real,
he doesn't know that's true or not.
Watching Centaur World is the way that I can enjoy that kind of trip.
That's funny.
And
I like that take. Yeah. Oh, thank you so much. Shrunken Alex Under Your Feet. I also like that's a funny name.
Sweet. Okay, no, we love to hear from the people who watch a lot but don't necessarily comment. That's terrific. Thank you. Thank you for watching.
Yes, indeed. Also, opinions on the Nowhere King? Sick villain.
All right.
So great.
Yes. And
we can't talk more about it because we're trying to keep it spoiler-free, but, like, the design and the backstory that you learn about, awesome.
I think that the villain paid off extremely, extremely well, and I think it's maybe the strongest thing about the ending of the show. I felt like they depicted something that we don't always see in animation, and it hit really hard, and I loved it.
I did. I loved it, too. Also, a good point, Mystery Mode, the music. The music.
Yeah, let's talk about it again.
The music constantly. The Cats episode.
Okay.
I will say, I always think,
The Cats episode.
I always think the audio is a wee bit choppy. Huh.
Yeah. Could somebody say if the audio is also a little bit choppy for you, by the way, so that we know if it's not just an isolated thing?
I can do a little one too. Continue talking though.
Oh yeah, definitely. So I guess yes, the Cats episode. I'm somebody who loves cats.
Sounds good for me.
Pretty much unironically.
Yeah, no, not pretty much. Well, actually, I don't know. I debate whether you actually watch it ironically sometimes.
I'm saying unironically. Or did I say ironically?
Yeah, whichever. I debate it.
Sometimes I can't decide. I love cats because I just think it's a hoot, or a meow to watch.
Or a meow.
My Lord. Cats 2019 or the original musical, I don't care. I just laugh all the way through. When they parody cats, ironically. And this is, for all of you who haven't seen Centaur World, they parody cats, and it's the funniest thing in the world. I don't remember laughing that hard at anything we did this entire year. Well, one thing that you will never see because YouTube didn't let us.
What was that?
Shrek the Halls.
Oh, that was pretty funny.
We tried to do a Shrek the Halls reaction.
That Primal joke, the kneecaps joke was pretty funny too.
Well, that was the hardest you laughed, but that was the joke that I made.
True. That was the hardest I laughed.
Yeah, there was a Shrek the Halls reaction. If you're a YouTube member right now, you can see it. Maybe I can find a way to make that available for the Twitch subscribers.
That's true. If you become a member on YouTube, you actually can see some of our videos that have not been released anywhere else.
Yeah, the Shrek the Halls one was a complicated one because YouTube basically said, we're going to give you a copyright strike if you don't do this.
Yeah.
But there's a moment of that we laughed so hard we couldn't contain ourselves.
Hi, Zam. Welcome. You want to go move on to the next one?
Do you want to consider ranking these today?
I mean, I give it a star count.
Chat, tell us if you want us to rank
I give it out of 5 stars, but I'm not gonna keep track of them on the screen. If somebody wants
we don't have to do that.
Yeah.
But, I kind of want to feel like we leave with a verdict in a way.
Okay, well then,
since this is a bit of like a post-show discussion.
Then overall, what do you think for Centaur World whole show?
I think that for me, Centaur World is like...
Shrek the Halls was really funny also. Shockingly funny, epic randomness. Sorry, please go ahead.
I want to say 9 out of 10.
Yeah, I wouldn't put it that high. For me, Centaur, it doesn't come as close to some of my favorite cartoons still. There's a lot of anime I love more. I'd still put Avatar: The Last Airbender a lot higher. I'd put, Adventure Time a lot higher.
Yeah, for me, it's hard to compare genres. I think for what it is...
It's not that different from those.
Almost as good as it can be.
I'd give it I'm a lot more critical though, everybody. I'm always going to be more critical. The things that I love, I think are amazing and sacred, and if people say that the other things are as good as them, I'm like,
Lucas is an
really believe that?
Lucas is an
cringe.
Yeah, sorry. Lucas is an IMDb rating, and I'm a Rotten Tomatoes rating.
Thank you for the follow. Yeah, that's totally true.
I'm so excited. We just got a new follow from Twitch. If anybody's on YouTube and you feel like following the Twitch, it does help us. I know not everybody loves Twitch, and I respect that.
I love Twitch personally.
But there's a lot of fun stuff that you can have in there. So I feel like it's worth making an account.
Yeah, Twitch.
No pressure, just saying.
Twitch community is a whole other vibe too. It's kind of cool.
Yeah,
it's kind of cool in my opinion. We also have a sub goal on Twitch.
Yes,
which I wish I could inflate artificially with YouTube members, but I can't. So whatever.
Sure. Yeah, and I didn't see any more questions for Centaur World. So let's do Hell of a Boss.
Is that the next one?
That is sure next.
Oh, okay, so this is one of those shows that actually is towards my, like, favorite shows. I love Hell of a Boss. I love it so much. I remember the first... I know that this technically wasn't in that year, but can we just watch that one moment from your reaction? I think it's...
Actually, this is worth people's time if we can find it. I will preface...
Before I started doing the cold opens? The cold opens are way better.
The animation that you were about to see, in my opinion, is very dark, so it's the kind of thing that could push your comfort levels, like you will see that it pushed mine in this moment.
Yeah.
I just want to make sure that people have a proper heads up.
Did I do like an outro where I like showed it again? I'm trying to like.
It was definitely toward the end. Oh wait, no.
I'm hoping someone put it in the comments.
You're looking for the
timestamp.
No. You're looking for the pilot, which is a different video.
Oh, you're right. It is in episode 1. It is the pilot.
We'll find it, everybody. So
oh, that's not that pilot though.
Yeah, we did. The first episode of Has Been Hotel has been done. That was actually in the previous year.
Where was the pilot?
It might be a little bit no, it was after Has Been.
There it is.
It's gonna be toward the end of the animation because it was the very end of the episode.
Yeah.
And Max Hatter's asking if we saw the redesigns for the Has Been Hotel characters. I've seen some, not all.
Maybe I won't want to look those up later. I think I've seen all of them.
Epic Randomness says, my family is immune to violence. Oh no. Yeah, I am not. And this kind of graphic content definitely could be a lot for me. Oh my god, wait, we got...
Oh my gosh,
a new
thank you so much for this. Wow, why didn't my sound alert go off? I'm so... Oh, there it is.
Yes, maybe crispy, but not for sure crispy. I love it.
Chris like Chris. I like that.
Uh-huh.
Yo, thank you so much for the sub. I really appreciate it. Those... Yeah! Oh, yeah! I need to actually get way more hyped every time that happens. That's like straight money. That's not even like... That's not a YouTube subscription. Those are free. I appreciate those too, but... Subs are like hella contribution. Thank you so much. That means so much. Oh my goodness. Okay.
Yes, and we got another follow too, so thank you for that.
Where's the place where the kid gets
It's going to be at the very end.
Okay, that's
all right. Again, graphic content warning. Lucas does not care. He's perfectly happy to show child death to everybody without giving them any kind of...
It's a cartoon!
It's... Okay, but it's a dark cartoon. Like, let's be honest.
How dark of a cartoon? Oh, yeah, that's right. This is pretty messed up.
All right. Again, we're operating under the assumption that this isn't gonna flag on YouTube.
Oh, look how delightful this is.
Oh man. I don't like it.
I'm laughing now too. Okay, that's a music that'll get us taken down. But yeah, that's delightful.
Yes. So that was Hell of a Boss. That's the pilot. I think it's still canonical.
The child was awful. That is a fair point to make. Me just showing that out of context is way more horrible than it actually even was in the episode.
Yes.
Now, and I did that knowingly.
Yeah, so I do consider that pilot reaction kind of a highlight of the show because I was not ready and it really, really messed me up. Because I really try to like walk into these shows, despite not usually enjoying some of the really heavy-handed adult themes, with a good spirit about it, right? Like, yeah. I want to be able to enjoy myself and watch it, and I really have, I will say.
That's a great series to watch. I mean, I will actually, there are a few, I don't actually watch most of our own content, but there are some that I'll go back and watch, and Hell of a Boss, now granted, that's a preference because I also like the show a lot.
Yeah.
So, like, there's a little bit of bias there, but I laugh like a seagull. Okay, I'm sorry, I have to address this. I have gotten, like, 5 comments within a single week of my laugh being, like, a seagull or, like, shoot, what was the other one? A seal? And then I just keep getting, there were, like, 7 in the same week, and I haven't gotten any on YouTube up until that point, but people have made fun of me for it my whole life. So I'm quite used to it. But now everyone knows, so, oh god, why did I shouldn't have brought attention to it. Get out of here.
So sorry.
You can't do it high enough. No!
Yeah, I can work on it.
At least make me like a Wingull from Pokemon.
Oh my gosh. Hey, listen, if anybody wants to make Lucas feel better, the best thing that you could do would be subscribe to the channel.
Send me money.
Send a subscription.
Well, yes.
No, I don't want to get too off the rails here. So, Hell of a Boss. That was the pilot, but we have now since watched everything up to the first 2 episodes of season 2. Yeah, and actually, what's weird about Hell of a Boss is that the season 1 finale has not been completed, so we're still missing the season 1 finale because they're having their own kind of copyright issues.
Yeah.
We got the first 2 episodes of season 2.
Right. That is not up yet.
Let me tell you this. I love Has Been Hotel, the one pilot that we've seen, because the concept is awesome to me, and it captured me on the first watch. And the adult themes did not bother me because I felt like what they did, I don't know, I guess it just hit home for me, and we had this very positive character in Charlie that maybe I identified with, and it made it easier. Hell of a Boss, everybody's kind of mean.
No, I disagree with that. That is not true.
No, and I've started to really love Stolas. That's a character that I think is fantastic. And I will say, like, I have really enjoyed our Hell of a Boss watch through, because I've been able to enjoy the things about it that are amazing, which is the animation, which is the voice acting, which is the fact that this is an independent production that has been put together in such an amazing way on YouTube. Like, I will say that there is a lot to love about it. It's not my genre.
Yeah.
I can't wait for Has Been Hotel. I think that's, for me, gonna be
more your speed.
More my speed.
I'm excited for all of it. Can we go to ranking?
Oh, you're ready to go, right? I wasn't sure if you wanted to say more about what you loved about it, because I sort of gave my take.
I also want to open for questions about Hell of a Boss if anyone's into it. Also, oh my gosh, everyone is so... I should not have brought up the seagull thing. I shouldn't have addressed it.
See, I haven't even been able to read the chat.
This is what happens. You can't validate your comments. No, I'm just kidding.
Chat, keep talking. This is great. I love the energy.
Stolas is my favorite gay owl in animation. I think that's a fair statement. I'm like trying to think of others.
I don't know if Hootsufer is gay, so I don't know if.
I don't think we find out. I don't have a verdict on Hootie.
Yeah.
But I like Stolas a little bit better than Hootie anyway, so it would still be true.
I will say about Hell of a Boss 2.
How did you learn to get so good at fire dancing? First of all, I very much appreciate. Sorry, it was an ego comment. I very much appreciate that, and just like lots of really neurotic practice. Yeah.
Cool. I was actually about to pass it off for questions, and somebody asked fave character, Hell of a Boss.
Ooh.
For me, it's Stolas. There's times when I really enjoy... You're clearly the bigger fan here. It's been a while since we watched the last Hell of a Boss episode.
I think Stolas probably is my favorite character. I mean, my favorite is... I like Has Been Hotel just a little bit more, and my favorite characters are from Has Been.
Mm-hmm.
Does Owl from Winnie the Pooh count? I will absolutely count it.
Yes, that's good.
And, yeah, I think I still have to go with Stolas. Stolas is my favorite character for Hell of a Boss.
It's just been explored in a really interesting, nuanced way, especially lately, and I think that where that arc is going is exciting.
Oh my god, you're right. I forgot. Where's your beard?
Oh, yeah, I shaved for a little while. It'll probably grow back.
Yeah, it'll probably grow
I love
back.
that we have acknowledged the fact that my beard is gone before the fact that I'm wearing a Canada onesie for one of my favorite countries.
Max Hatter, you just asked, do we have a Patreon or plan on getting one? And we're actually probably going to launch our Patreon, like, very soon.
Yes. I will say this. So we've got the YouTube member program, which is like Patreon, but through YouTube.
Yeah. That's your best bet right now is the YouTube member thing. But the Patreon is going to have different perks that we're not going to go more into on stream.
Yeah, I mean, the idea probably is that people who are on YouTube member right now are very likely to want to go... Or I guess they're going to probably want to move over to Patreon because it's kind of going to be the one-stop shop for the bonus content. We got some good ideas from our survey about the things that people want to see out of Patreon. So we've got some ideas there that we think hopefully people will like, and we appreciate you asking.
Yeah, we will get it started and we'll do a big ol' announcement and stuff.
Yeah. Let's see. Did I see any more questions about Hell of a Boss specifically?
There was one up here that I moved. Oh, wait, we got that one already.
Oh, I think 2 people asked favorite character.
Yeah, I think that's it. People are saying the onesie's cool.
Good. Glad you like the onesie. Nice. All right, yeah. Well, I'll watch for any more questions, but why don't you rate it based on your taste?
For Hell of a Boss?
Yeah.
I would say A tier. I'm not going to put it quite at S tier. Or,
Okay.
shoot, I guess out of stars then. I guess 4 out of 5. 4.5 out of... Well, 4... Yeah, I'll say 4 out of 5.
That's interesting. I mean, that's an 8 out of 10 more or less, though.
Yeah, I think that's fair. Maybe like a 4.25, I guess, by that logic.
Really?
But, like,
yeah, you really are like a tougher critic than me. I mean, in this case...
Well, I mean, I would put Hell of a Boss in... Or I would put Has Been Hotel above that. But for me, Hell of a Boss... Well... Yeah, actually, no, you're right. I'll put it 5 out of 5.
I feel like these there's
problem
no such thing as perfect.
The thing is, that's why I don't like 5. That's why I don't like the 5 scale.
Yeah, it's too low.
Like S tier makes sense to me because I don't mind rating it as an S tier thing. But 5 out of 5 is like, well, no, because I only have like 10 things in my entire list of all existence that are 5 out of 5.
If you're more comfortable with it, let's do tiers.
Let's do tiers then. Okay, so then what was Centaur World? I'd say that's B tier.
For me, it's A tier.
Okay, I'd put it in B tier personally.
I don't know if there will be a show we talk about today that I consider S tier though. So I might move one. We'll see. After we talk it through, I might move it to S. But
I put Hell of a Boss in S tier.
Wow. See, I put Hell of a Boss in B, but it's not my taste.
Yeah, I easily put. I mean, I think Yeah, we could get into it in an argument about like I was just being like, oh well, Hell of a Boss is objectively better for da 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 da. I'm like, well, no, let's not get into that. But.
Favorite moments from Hell of a Boss, and then we'll move on to the next one.
Favorite moments from Hell of a Boss? That's a lot, dude. I one of my favorites is still the song that Stola sings to his daughter in episode 2.
I think that's a great answer.
Or 2 or 3. That's definitely it's weird. It'd be weird for me to not do tiers. I totally feel that too. Yeah, it's just too hard.
Yeah, for those not familiar with the system, S tier's highest, and then it goes A and down.
Yeah. Honestly, I have no idea why it starts with S.
Yes,
that doesn't really make any sense. It's just like how the English, grading system has A, B, C, D, F because even it can't spell.
That's good. Not even E. Cool. Well, I think that's good. Should we move on to the next one?
Yeah, I think Hell of a Boss and Has Been are the only ones I'd put in S tier from this year probably. Is Cuphead next?
Yeah, I guess that if we're going in order, this is about when we started covering the Cuphead show.
Oh wait, should I watch Hell of a Boss? Yes, I totally recommend it if you're into like more. As long as you like sick comedy to some degree, you'll like Hell of a Boss. If you hate sick comedy, like messed up jokes and stuff like that, I don't think you'll like it. But if you're into darker comedy and you're into like darker animation and stuff like that, I mean, don't get me wrong, it doesn't have a dark tone by any stretch really, but like, it's amazing. It's actually incredible. I feel bad if you don't want to because the animation and the voice acting and the writing are just so good.
Nice. So Cuphead, this is fascinating to me.
Oh wait, did we skip? No, we didn't.
Technically, no, we haven't skipped anything yet.
Cool, Cuphead. Yep, that was when we started Cuphead episode 1. And we have finished... Was that 3 whole seasons in that time?
Yeah, so...
There's been 3 seasons released in the single year? Wow, I guess that makes sense.
Yeah, wow, we have gone through all 3 seasons of Cuphead. And that's because it was always planned as 3 seasons, and they basically, put them together, and then they all got released at different times. Should we pull up, an image of Cuphead?
Yeah, sure, I'm down.
The reason this show for me is interesting is because I think it carved a very, I guess, interesting spot in our channel, in that there were a lot of people who showed up very passionate about Cuphead.
Yeah, true.
Which, we love the passion. I'm not sure if a lot of these people actually even watched another cartoon on our channel, though, to be honest. And that was, conflicting.
I'm just running a playthrough.
Oh, a playthrough of the game? That's fun.
On mute. Might as well. It's a good image to have while we talk about the show.
Sure.
Hey, that's where the show ended.
And also, we love classic animation. We also love the video game Cuphead, which is terrific.
Yeah.
And I do think that Cuphead's existence is incredible for animation at large.
Yeah.
The fact that this show got made in a classic cartoon style and that so many young kids were able to attach themselves to that and love it so much does my heart so incredibly good. And I think that the show delivered on a ton of awesome classic elements that I have not seen from a modern adaptation of a show because they emulated it in such a beautiful way. We got Halloween specials that I will watch Halloween after Halloween, which is, I love when more specials like that emerge.
Yeah.
The Christmas special, too, phenomenal.
Yes. Also, to everybody who's talking about Vox Machina, we're going to get to that one next.
Yes, we are. And, I don't know, man. Like, I think that this was not a perfect show because I think they were struggling with exactly what they wanted it to be. Did they want it to be a plot show or a formulaic show?
Yeah, the plot for those who haven't seen it, the plot going on the screen is totally the video game, and the show does not follow this very much at all, I would say. Right?
Yeah, this is safe copyright because it's a video game.
Oh my gosh.
So I guess it's a thing where if I'm almost not mad about the way they did. I understood their struggle, to be honest. Because how can you possibly make a formulaic show in this generation that's going to capture people's attention and make them want to keep watching? Especially on a platform like Netflix.
I mean, for me, that's
kind of binge through.
That's the debate, right? Why make a formulaic show?
Because when you do it like this, with this style, it pulls from the classics. It's a vibe, man. Like,
yeah, I mean, I'm not going to say I didn't like it by any means. Like, I did enjoy it, but I mean, I also wouldn't put it near any of the greats by any way. You know what I mean?
Sure. Well, I mean, there's plot shows and vibe shows, though, and Cuphead was the kind of show I just enjoyed watching.
I liked it. I loved the experience of watching it. The animation was really cool. All the classic animation nods were really cool. I hope it gets people into classic animation who haven't been and maybe interested in researching it a little bit more.
Yeah, that's true.
But I thought it was fine. The plot didn't really grip me, if I'll be totally honest.
That's interesting. See, for me, though, it was never about the plot. And it's Lucas and I are very different people. It was never, ever about the plot. And I ended up enjoying the plot for what it's worth. Like, I just love the style, and I could watch that style for days.
No, and also, people need to know, like, just because I don't, like, rate it critically high doesn't mean I didn't enjoy watching it. Like, you can see my reactions. I had a good time watching it. But, like, when I step back and look in, like, the scheme of art and animation, I can enjoy a D-tier thing. And I can love it. But I can still put it in D tier totally comfortably. I would put this in C tier, because the animation is phenomenal.
See, I would still put it in B tier, because I really enjoyed... I liked the stories. I thought they were...
think it's as good as some other things that we're putting in B tier.
But see, this is where we're going to have trouble, is that
you
can't compare some of these things in the same vein, in my opinion. Because I think that...
Post-Cup clarity.
Cuphead?
I'm sorry, I had to laugh at that joke.
Yeah.
Continue.
Cuphead is a completely different show from Hell of a Bot. Like, you can't even consider them, like... I can't put them in the same category at all. Like, they're totally different boxes. Cuphead's not trying to be that kind of show. Like, it doesn't need all of these super deep moments.
For me, that's how you do it, right? Though you just like you qualify your system of ranking, because it's like what you're saying. Like, yeah, shows like this. If we're talking formulaic shows, I mean, this is up there with some of the best, probably, right?
Yeah, but I don't think
if we're limiting it to that.
Well, yeah, but I think that it's a mistake to discount formulaic shows in general. Because I think that there's a lot of good ones that are good for that reason, but they're different brands. Like,
yeah, but I mean, there's also something to be said about the artistic intent and complexity of doing something with plot, and that it's simply more artistic work, and it takes more to do.
I can understand that. Hey, chat, ask us questions about Cuphead if you'd so like. We'll get to that section in a second.
Get involved in our debate.
I just love classic animation so much, and I think that for me, the best thing that a cartoon can be is fun. It can leave me feeling happier at the end of it, and Cuphead did that for me pretty much every time. Nice. Now, I will say that anytime...
It is artsy, it is a live stream, it's good. Sorry, please continue.
Yeah, no, anytime I feel like I am unsatisfied with something, that's the worst thing that it can be for me. But my expectations for Cuphead were met. Like, I never felt unsatisfied because it was the show I wanted it to be, for the most part.
My expectations for Cuphead were also met. I was actually, epic randomness, I was also going to say Phineas and Ferb is a show that perfects formulaic. I do think that Phineas and Ferb is like one of the best formulaic shows in all of existence.
Yeah, and even they sort of had a bit of an arc. You know, it was subtle,
and
but it was
even
there.
them, I would still not put that show even remotely, even close as like Adventure Time and Avatar: The Last Airbender, even though I think it is one of the best formulaic shows of all time. Because to me, there's just a difference.
Lucas, we got a question for, did you like the game or the show better? And what is your fave thing about Canada for myself? We'll start with the first.
So, okay, I know less about gaming than TV and animation, so take this with a super grain of salt, because I've been watching the show critically, and, you know, that's what I do, and, you know, we do that for the show, and I've, like, had classes and all this stuff, and thought a lot about theory for film. I have not done any of that mindful thought for video games at all, so with all of that said, I like the game better.
You know what's actually interesting? I kind of agree.
Really?
I do like the game better, but the reason is, I think the idea of classic cartoonifying a video game
was way more unique.
More unique, more inspired idea than turning it into a show.
Which was essentially just to make more cash grab on the game.
Okay, but
I mean, not that they didn't have artistic, you know, like, not that it wasn't creatively well done on top of that, but, you know, there was a dollar sign involved. It wouldn't have been made otherwise, let's be real.
Yes,
Alec has been to Canada. We had this exact conversation before.
Yes, I have. I loved it so much. I think it's a great country, and that's why I'm here sporting it instead of my home country, because we know which. Nah, I'll stop there.
We also got a question. Who's the scariest character in Cuphead, and why is it Bull Boy? And the answer to Bull Boy is because clearly, like, that image of Bull Boy just, like, poisoning them with the syringe at the end of that episode was horrific.
I do think that was probably the strongest reaction we had in the show, as far as, like...
Yeah,
and they had
that was so funny.
Of more disturbing episodes, which, by the way, was amazing, because I love how disturbing it got.
I said this at the end of our watch, and I stand by it. I think Season 2 was the funniest, but Season 3 was the best of Cuphead.
Mm-hmm.
Because Season 3 did deliver with everything I wanted to see with the devil, which, again, is probably, in my opinion, the strongest character. Him and Chalice.
Yeah.
And that was all delivered on in that season. But just in terms of raw comedy and, like, weird stuff happening, Season 2 was so funny.
Yeah, I agree.
Even still, I put Cuphead firmly in C.
I had a great time with it, and I wouldn't complain about what it was. It's B tier for me.
That's fair.
Wow,
oh, wait, we're not there yet. Centaur World. Vox Machina, I mean.
Yes. Okay, let's talk about The Legend of Vox Machina, but I do see that we have one more question for Lucas before we get to the next one.
Oh, random question, because they noticed I have earrings. Do I prefer stud or dangle? I prefer stud, but I have little cute, they're T-Rexes actually biting my ears. They're just little T-Rexes that hang. So if they're done stylistically, I can deal with some dangle. The reason I don't like dangle though is because I do juggling and spin poi and generally run around and I'm too hyperactive to not lose them.
Terrific. Oh, and I saw Mystery Mo ask, so who's going to buy a house so that everybody in this community can start watching cartoons together? You know, I might not afford a house, but how about a ship?
A ship? Yeah, we'll get a boat. We'll make it the One Piece ship.
How about a ship where everybody can venture to different cartoon lands and talk about what cartoon land they want to live in?
Wow, that seems oddly specific, Alex.
It's pretty specific. I don't know, maybe if I have the money for it, I might... But if I were people, I might consider the idea of what if I could explore cartoons with the Hester Bros across the cartoon universe at large. That's something that I might have in my head as a kind of cool idea. I don't know. Anyway, Legend of Vox Machina!
So... Vox Machina is another one of those shows that I think is just so much better than a lot of the other things that we've seen that it's hard for me to put other things higher on the tier list. Like, I can't put Cuphead on the same level as Vox Machina because Vox Machina is so good. And I put Vox Machina in A tier, personally. I'll just start off by saying that. Because it's the animation, the concept of animating an actual game that was played out in real life, because it completely throws so many plot tropes and, like, storytelling formulas out the window and makes it so amazingly creative and unique. I mean, I honestly, the only thing that I wish was different about the show is that more people knew about it and that it was, like, marketed better. because this is so sick. I hope people don't hear it and they're like, oh, Dungeons & Dragons aren't my thing. Like, no, this is just a good fantasy show. You don't have to give a crap about Dungeons & Dragons to think that this is phenomenal.
That's so true. You don't have to like Critical Role or even know what it is to be able to enjoy the show on its own.
And Alec does do Dungeons & Dragons and likes Critical Role, and I have not stepped my foot into that pool at all, and I love it. Not that I wouldn't. I just don't have time to, but I loved this show. So good. We are absolutely watching... Oh, wait, what are we most looking forward to for Season 2?
Before I answer that question, let me go ahead and give my take, because mine's a little bit interesting. If you've all seen the reaction series, you may be surprised for Lucas to say, oh yeah, Alec plays D&D and watches Critical Role, because at the time that we did that reaction series, that was not the case. Yeah, I had been away from Dungeons & Dragons for a very long time in my life. It's had a not great ending to it, admittedly.
Yeah.
And this show kind of re-inspired me to become interested in. Since the show ended, I have picked up Dungeons & Dragons again, and I have watched, I am caught up on Critical Role Campaign 3.
Yes.
And I have just had the best time ever. So when you ask me what I'm the most excited for Season 2, the answer is actually being able to approach it from the perspective of somebody who now loves Critical Role, instead of somebody who walked in not even really knowing exactly what it was. And I'll be honest, there's probably going to be parts of Season 1 that this time I'm a little bit more spoiled on, because I know how some character arcs end, but definitely not nearly enough to where I'm actually spoiled. Like, I'll still be able to enjoy the show walking in fresh. And Lucas is still going to have the perspective of somebody who has no idea of anything that happens.
Yeah, so then in answer to your question, what are we the most excited about, it's probably going to be really different, because Alec and I have very different expectations. So I'm going to answer first, because he has more, you know more about what might come in Season 2, probably, right?
I honestly don't really know.
Oh, okay.
I would be surprised if any of the things I know happen in Season 2. Because I only literally know, 2, major plot details that probably take place at the very, very end.
So... What I need to ask you before I say what I'm excited for is, are we just getting a different, arc with, different characters? Or is it completely the same people, but, in a continuation of the Briarwood arc?
No, so this is a total continuation of all the characters you know. The amount of content that they have to pull from that first campaign, I had no idea how vast it was.
Yeah.
We could get 10 seasons from campaign 1 alone. And again, I'm caught up on campaign 3 right now, but there's still campaign 2. There's so much content and lore to play. I don't even know what they're going to try to do, if they're going to try to stretch it out, if they're going to try to put a lot in at once. But whatever they did the first time, whatever they pulled from, felt very right as far as the amount that they gave us win. Also, I'm seeing so much love for Vox Machina in the chat right now.
Absolutely.
Could we back up and go through some of these questions from Vox? Because I
don't think we've gotten too many questions.
Oh, okay. Oh, and I also wanted to shout out the facts that...
Except for this. Remember the people on the tree and they wouldn't stop showing it?
Oh my gosh, the tree moments.
And I kept editing it into our intros.
Okay, cool. People are just commenting on it. So, yeah, I made a comparison that my friend Chris was like Percy.
Yeah.
In the video, and I didn't think that Chris watched the channel ever. Suddenly I get a text from him a couple days later, I think, is like, so you thought that comparing me to a homicidal that's not what he said. He used the proper description of Percy. He's like, you thought that
I thought Chris was in chat! I thought that was him! That's Chris, bro! Did you know?
I know.
Okay, cool. I remember that. That's so funny.
And anyway, so after that, I was like, oh my god, I can't believe that you watched this. Anyway, Chris was like, so it seems like you like D&D now, and Chris is now the dungeon master for our campaign. And we have had an amazing time, and now I might even be hosting my own campaign with some more friends.
So what do you rank this?
This is so hard because I usually brand myself as not being the adult animation guy, and my speed is more things like Centaur World, but I now have a connection to this show in a way that I don't have to the others. If I was going to put one in S tier...
Sorry, I just laughed at Chris's comment. It was an angsty edgelord possessed by a demon. So thanks.
Yes, thank you.
I think that's... I was gonna say, I personally loved... Oh, Bree is saying S tier.
You know what? For me, it goes there. I want to...
I actually would put it in S tier because it has one thing that no other cartoon has. And for me, that's a big part in how I feel about a show. Is it doing anything new? You know, is it giving us something that I've never seen before? Is it playing with my expectations in a way that is making the viewing experience really fresh for me? And this 100% is in a way that no other show has before. And on that, and not just to mention that creativity is also executed amazingly. So, like, yeah, I think I actually would have to put it in S tier. I need to see more of it to put it in S tier in my personal favorites. But if we're doing, like, a 2022 review, I'll put it in S tier for that. 100%.
It's beautifully animated. I mean, I'm interested to see, because this is another show. The chat's loving it, clearly. But
I'm so excited about that, too, because it's one that I wanted to keep watching.
Well, I'm so worried that, like, a lot of people who are fans of D&D and Critical Role found this series, but we haven't actually gotten a high viewership from the other people who normally watch our channel.
That's true.
So, like, I don't know. We'll see what happens with it, but
yeah, we will.
Yeah, and somebody's mentioning how great Titmouse is as animation company that did Vox Machina, among others. And
some other shows that we talked about in our most hyped for 2023 stream. Titmouse is doing some animation for that too.
Yeah, that's true.
If fans write you on Instagram, do you answer? Eventually, but our Instagram's not as active as other places, so you're more likely to catch us in our Discord channel.
Yes, and I definitely don't want to necessarily, like, guarantee we would always respond to everything, but we definitely try to interact with the fans as we can. You know?
You're the most likely to catch us in our live streams, though.
Yes, this is literally
100%.
The easiest time to get our attention.
Especially if you leave a sub with your comment.
Nice. Cool.
So it's working. Hey,
we
go.
Really? Somebody found us through Vox Machina and still watched the other stuff. That actually makes me really happy to hear that feedback, because sometimes with a show like this, you feel like you're going to find new people for the show, but maybe they're not going to be the type to stick around because they only like that show.
You know, I like the idea of us doing this specifically a lot, because Alec and I have talked about, and again, we're not promising anything, but we have, like, maybe the idea of playing D&D on stream sometime and tying it into Vox Machina, or, like, doing a Critical Role.
It would have to be a one-shot thing only.
Yeah, like some fun thing like that, though, but just to build the hype.
Yeah, and I'm not saying no, but the logistics of something like that are going to be very difficult, so give me 6 months to be a DM in my own campaign, and then I'll see if it's even feasible.
Well, maybe we could, like, maybe we could play, like, Adventure Time Munchkin, because I have that. Like, we could do a reductionist version and then talk about it or something.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Oh, and sorry, somebody asked my D&D character. That, of course, is Avery Graves, the world's greatest adventurer in all of the kingdom. He's a birdman. He's got an upper torso who's a bird, and he's extremely extra. And he's a former sailor, and he literally is extra everywhere that he goes, and he sort of annoys the people around him.
Chris said he's awful. He's awful.
Avery is a strong personality, and I love playing him, and it has been one of the great joys of my life for Chris to consistently get annoyed with my portrayal of Avery Graves.
That is glorious. I'm here for it.
And somebody asked about if we'd ever be here for a Centaur Season 3.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I wish.
Yes.
I wish.
Because we love Centaur World, we love more season, but I also do feel like the ending...
I can't see us getting a Season 3, I'll say that
It's
much.
hard for me to imagine it. It's hard for me to imagine it.
With someone... Wait, I played with someone who was a Birdman once. I don't understand this game enough to not think this is a hysterical conversation.
Yes.
Is it common to play as a Birdman?
No, definitely not.
Oh, okay.
I went to Chris and I was like, I want to play a character with the upper body of a bird. Well, there are creatures in the universe that emulate birds. Like there's the Arachras, which I probably am pronouncing wrong. There's also Ardlings now.
Have we seen the Season 2 Vox Machina trailer?
Yes.
You have?
We did it on a stream, I think.
Oh, you're right, we did. No, that was the Pokemon one. We didn't watch the Vox Machina one.
I could have... Oh, wait, no, I saw it on TV, but you haven't seen it.
Mind if I check it out?
We can put it on. I feel like it should be
scary.
safe. I think it's safe because it's a trailer. If our...
Wait, trailer reaction? That's funny. No, we're not. I don't want to do that. I'm not contributing to our competition. No, I'm just kidding.
If our stream gets pulled down for any reason, find us on Twitch instead.
On YouTube, that's fine.
Yeah, I'm almost a little worried about a trailer, because sometimes it spoils things, but I've already seen it, so nothing that it can do to me at this point.
Oh, dude, if trailers spoil stuff, that's so obnoxious.
Yeah, well, I mean, they're definitely going to spoil some things. Or at least tease you.
Yeah, well, tease and spoil are different.
When it's a 2-minute trailer, though, you know you're getting...
Yeah! This is gonna be so hype! Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. Okay, that music is making me not want to keep watching this for copyright reasons, but still, this looks really hype.
Definitely. And, again, this is a more adult show, if I didn't already say that ahead of time, so possibly not your comfort level. But of the adult shows I've watched, I don't find this gratuitous. I found it, like, really beautifully made.
Oh, that's so cool. All the animation looks so cool.
Yeah, so, Vox Machina, more coverage coming soon.
Oh my god, there's a psychedelic scene. I love those.
We don't know at what pace we are going to be able to cover Vox Machina, so be patient with us on this one. We're just going to have to see. But we definitely have interest in finishing coverage just because we think the show is great. And that goes a long way.
Yeah. Also, yeah, I totally agree with you. I hate it when a trailer is like, and here's the summary of the plot of our film real quick. Just in case you didn't want to watch it. I agree. That's awful. Anyway, Vox Machina is going to be great.
Yeah, definitely. All right.
Continue?
Yeah, let's continue. So the next show that
Can I just say this thumbnail, everyone? The Who Likes Eggplants in Alex's face. Okay.
Yeah, you know what's funny? That thumbnail at first didn't do that well. It sort of picked up steam over time. But
so, we are going to cover everything that we watched, even if it didn't come out last year. Is that fair? Because I want to do that. Because we already did that.
Oh, yeah.
Good.
At least, but we can get to the stuff that we only covered once a little bit later.
And yes, Vox Machina is on Prime. No, we should just keep going sequentially.
Well, I think we probably already missed one.
Did we? No, we didn't.
Oh, really? We haven't?
No.
Okay, well, let's be quicker about the ones that we only covered once.
Wow.
Yeah,
I'm so interested in the My Little Pony conversation. I really am. Dude, this is one of our most popular videos, dude. People love My Little Pony, and for a reason. Alec and I went into this half expecting us to, like, go in for the lols, and came out of it thinking it was actually, like, you know, I mean, I don't think it's... I didn't have as great of an... No, we watched one episode for anybody who loves My Little Pony. And...
Specifically, My Little Pony Friendship is Magic, which...
Yeah, specifically that.
I still laugh as the words come out of my mouth a little bit, I'm sorry.
Yeah, and, like, one thing that I learned is just that it's a very misunderstood subculture.
Yes,
but, like,
that's true.
The show is actually not that bad, and, you know, like, when I saw it, I was like, okay, I at least understand why there's a fandom for this now. You know what I mean? Like, it was kind of actually a good show.
Yeah, I have to admit that we walked in a little bit with the intention of respecting the show because, obviously, we understand that lots of people love it unironically.
Yo, I was ready to laugh at it if it was bad, but it wasn't.
Yeah, but maybe, like, a little bit of a gag, like, oh, it'll be funny if we cover My Little Pony. And, listen... You see the thumbnail, the part where the bear's neck almost got snapped.
Yeah, I mean, they turn it around, but, you know, they play with my expectations
My mouth was on the floor. Listen, it's still not my favorite show, but
no way. I mean, I'd put it in, I mean, I still put it in... Yeah.
I don't even want to tier list this one, to be honest.
No, I do. I'm not afraid. I don't care. You know...
We only watched one episode. How can you tier list something that you... for me...
I tier listed based on the episode I saw.
That's fine. You are more than welcome to. I'm going to opt out of the ones that I didn't properly watch, because I don't feel like I have a proper review for them.
I'm going to put it in C tier.
Okay.
Because I think that it's got to be good enough and do things that I've never seen before. And it did do some things I'd never seen before. Like, I remember that reaction video for a reason. And you know what? I feel like... In terms of it being a show that I remember watching it more than I remember a lot of other shows that I saw that year. So I'll put it in C tier.
All right, cool.
That works. Wait.
No,
I grew up watching the .mo videos. Oh my god, I won't even go into that, but I'm sure it's awful.
Yeah, people are asking about more MLP reactions, so I don't think that we would ever cover the show in its entirety. Would we ever
Not in its entirety.
Would we ever hop into another episode for fun? Maybe. I'm not going to say yes or no for sure.
Yeah.
Obviously, the first video did really well, and the data sometimes tells the story, but...
One of the interesting things about it for me was that people had such a varying opinion on what our first episode should have been and what the best episodes are. Like, it didn't seem like to me that there was a lot of unified agreement on that.
Yes.
And that's what makes it interesting a little bit for me. So, you know, we'll see. Oh, what's up? Ishii and CJ just rolled in at the exact same time.
Ishii's
That's so wild.
I don't mean to put Ishii on blast, but you actually were the one who helped me narrow down the choices of the episode. And I know that, even though everybody had a slightly different opinion on it.
For My Little Pony?
Yeah, I felt like that was the perfect one. Because it introduced us to the show, and that's what I was looking for. I wanted a show introduction that wasn't really... basically, I needed to know absolutely nothing about it to walk in and enjoy one episode that had some humor to it, and that it delivered for what we were hoping for.
Yes, indeed.
Sweet. Okay. So, since this is just the trailer for Dead End, do you want to talk about Flapjack first really quick?
Yeah, let's do that. We can get into that after. Flapjack is such a good show.
People, yes. If you have not seen The Misadventures of Flapjack, I know this is one of...
I mean, I'm not gonna... I still would throw it in C tier. I don't think it's, like really good. I think it's, fun to watch. I don't think it's, good. Actually, I might even put this in D tier, actually.
It's gotta be at least.
In D tier?
No, is it D? I was gonna say B.
No.
Because Flapjack... Again, look, you're so hung up on whether something qualifies as, great in every single way. My rating is purely based on how much fun I have.
Yeah, but for me, how much fun I have is correlated to how good it is. And I know that's not the case for you, but that's definitely the case for me. If a show is because I'll watch an episode of Flapjack and laugh, but I would never watch a movie length worth of Flapjack.
That's true, and it's not the kind of show that I even having on the background too much because it's so weird.
I was gonna say, I thought you didn't even like this show.
Well, I just think that it stands out beautifully as a relic of animation history. I think it's
This is true.
Amazingly weird, and
it's bizarre.
I think in a way it has a legacy attached to it.
Pendleton Ward was a writer for it, and he wrote Adventure Time, which is my literal favorite show ever.
Yeah. I gotta say, I think Flapjack is good for what it is. Again, it's what they were going for, they did exactly what they wanted to do.
I think it was a precursor to a lot of good things, but I think it in of itself didn't quite execute what it was trying to do as well as a lot of other shows did later.
Yeah.
I
can understand that, but it's still a vibe, It's a very unique show. It feels like there's no other show that really feels like it.
I'll keep it in C tier. I can't put it any higher than that, though.
Again, I'm trying to... this is weird because this is actually a show I've seen enough of to maybe actually come up with a review.
Yeah. Oh, I've seen so much of that show, for sure.
You've seen more than I have, though. I watched the Christmas special, and again, I was like, this is so freaky.
Did you?
Yeah. It's just so strange, people. If you haven't seen Flapjack, I would watch it. I don't think it's going to be for everybody, because it's almost too weird to be enjoyable at times.
It's, you know what it reminds, it's like Super Jail for kids.
Whoa. That's an interesting comparison.
Because it's just a kind of, it's funny, but it's mostly kind of horrific.
Yeah, you're watching it to kind of be like, whoa.
Yeah, exactly.
To enjoy it. It's not.
Unless that's what you're. I mean, I enjoy that experience.
I can enjoy that experience to a degree, and I think that I enjoy watching one Flapjack episode at an isolated time and just laughing at how silly it is.
Yeah.
So.
Hello, Lila.
Welcome. Yes, welcome
to the stream.
By the way, thank you everybody who's here today. I feel like this is our most active stream that we've had so far, and this makes me really happy to see how many people care about these shows and are interested in interacting with us.
Yeah, it really brings my heart a lot of joy, and a lot of people kept me company on Christmas who were in this chat, and I appreciate that. So I'm stoked about all the streaming stuff. It's been very cool.
Definitely. All right.
And yeah, I love Flapjack so much. Don't get me wrong. Again, I can have something in D tier and love it to death. I have no problem putting things that I love in low tier. I really don't. I don't, I can love something and appreciate that it's not the best thing in the world.
Do you know what's next, Lucas?
Is it Adventure Time?
It is Adventure Time!
Speaking of something that I think is the best thing in the world, the literal best show in the world, I would literally put this in a tier above S tier if I could. I think this is one of the crowning achievements of animation, and I will talk about it for years. It's so good. You should talk, because I literally will... all I'll do is just talk about how much I love this in 50 different ways.
I love how much you love it. I love your passion for it. I feel like we need to bring in some guests to have this discussion.
What? Oh, okay. Oh my god, everybody, did you just see his butt flap?
Hope
Did somebody clip that?
What seems to be the matter?
Anyway, please continue.
All right. We've got Finn and Jake, who are now our forever guests on the chair that we've got back over here that we now do our reactions from. Lucas's buddies.
Yeah. Everyone saw the butt flag.
I am so glad.
Everybody sees in the chat for the Canada tush. Yeah, now we have the my children here. The amount of messages that just showed up at once. That was pretty funny.
Oh, goodness. Oh, and Ishii, I would love to do a Chowder episode. That would be very fun.
Yeah, I would like to
high on
do
the list.
Cute ass, nice. I would love to do a Chowder episode, too.
Yes.
A lot of those Cartoon Network shows from that decade.
They are so good!
Are really interesting. Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends was really good.
If Lucas and I had a chance to cover more nostalgic shows from our childhood, we would literally be doing it all the time.
Yeah.
You know, it's hard because you don't always know which ones are going to resonate with people, and a lot of people don't watch our videos if they haven't seen the show, which I understand. Like, kind of the purpose of a reaction video is to enjoy what you love through somebody's eyes.
Yeah.
So you kind of have to pick some things that people know. But, you know, you hope that the audience exists for something like Chowder. I think that Adventure Time, from what I've seen, is a great show. I have seen little enough of it, though, to where it hasn't gotten, for me, to the heights that you've seen it get to. Yeah. I've only seen, like, season 1.
It's the kind of... Adventure Time's like a lot of anime, where a lot of people will say, oh, well, it doesn't get good here, but... And I know that that's, like, such a tropey thing to hear, and people are like, yeah, that's what you say about bad shows. But that's, like, so... I really think that's such a terrible perspective to have, because, like, One Piece is one of my favorite shows of all time, and you need to wait a long time for that to start getting good, because you just don't even know what's good about it until it sets it all up for you. And Adventure Time isn't quite as long of a payoff, but the payoff is so unbelievably good. There's so many bits that you get from every episode. It's kind of like Steven Universe, where, like, there are a few episodes that maybe don't have, like, a complete plot relevance, but you get so much flavor from the characters in the world. It's like, the world building is phenomenal, and the story, and the way that Finn ages, and all of the themes that they cover are just so, like, challenging for life philosophy and for people existing in the world. And also, I saw someone relate it to Steven Universe, and I think the same thing about Steven Universe. I'd put that as an S-tier show also. Nice. It's not quite as much my favorite, because I don't think that it's able to go as deep as Adventure Time, because Adventure Time had a lot more time, simply. It's a longer show. And also, I think that Pendleton Ward's writing style is just like... again, I will just go on about this show forever. I think the writing is excellent. I think the animation is excellent. I think the creativity is excellent. It's phenomenal for 1.5 million reasons. It perfected the 11-minute show format. That's it.
Nice. Well, this is another one I feel like I would be best to refrain from, because I think based on just what I've seen, it would be A, only because it does stand out to me from one season. But that's not enough. The reason I've refrained from watching more is because you never know. Like, Lucas and I might want to watch that together somehow. Yeah, I don't think it's the kind of show we could react to the entirety of. But...
Yeah, I mean, this episode we did was the pillow episode, if anybody's seen it, which is, like, one of the trippiest episodes, and that's saying something.
Yeah.
And... You know, I mean, even that gives you a little bit of plot. There are tiny... I wouldn't call them spoilers, because you don't have enough information for them to be spoilers, but... Have you seen that? I have that sings bacon pancake. No, I have not, unfortunately. TikTok is outside of my sphere of existence, unfortunately.
Yeah, sometimes my wife will show me things from TikTok, and that's nice.
Well, thank you. These are my children.
So, nice. Okay, I think that closes the book on Adventure Time for now. You know, we only covered it for an episode.
We want to revisit it. I mean, God knows Lucas is going to try to find a way to get it on this channel again at some point.
Let's talk about Dead End Paranormal Park.
Oh, you wait. Oh, is that where we're at?
It is.
Oh, next. Yay! Okay, Dead End Paranormal Park. All right.
So let me say, on the HBCT 2023 survey that is still open for people to fill out if they would so like, you can find it on Discord and YouTube. So far, the #1 answer for my favorite show that you covered last year is in fact Dead End Paranormal Park. That answer has come up more than anything else.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yep.
Wow, that's surprising to me, actually.
Yeah,
that's
I
awesome.
guess this is just of the people who have answered the survey, but that tells me that the people who enjoyed Dead End are the types of people who really enjoyed this show enough to be, like, loyal enough to, like, answer a survey. I'm in social science and I work with surveys, so I think a lot about...
oh, dude, chat's blown up for Dead End, too. Let's go. I love it.
Yes, okay. I love it, too. Because this show, to me, is so important. You know...
Did I put Hell of a Boss in S tier? I have to ask.
I don't remember if you actually ended up putting it there. I think you might have. But
whether or not I
said
did,
A.
Whether or not I did, I have to put Dead End in S tier. Because I was thinking that, like, I'd feel bad not having them. Like, I'd almost feel bad them not being in the same tier wherever they are. Because I feel like they're both so good. Because they both push boundaries, but in completely different ways.
That's true.
And, yeah, Dead End is just, like, so unbelievably creative. The storyline hits home really well. It's telling a story that's never been told in Western animation like this before, and it's going over themes that have never been explored. We have a personal experience with being able to interview Alex Hirsch, the creator, on our show.
Hamish Steele.
Hamish Steele, thank you.
Yeah, we're literally looking at a picture of Alex Hirsch, which is why he said that. We know it's Hamish Steele.
Oh my god, thank you. Yeah, that was dyslexia, I promise. But yeah, Hamish Steele, we interviewed him on the show, and that was like such a special thing. So, I mean, I have to put that in S tier, even if I'm a little biased for it.
Yeah, so Dead End is a show that we had our eyes on from like a year and a half before it even started. We even talked about it on the show, like, this looks cool. It's literally like a theme park with a portal to hell. I worked at Disney, so I have that theme park connection, but we also both...
yeah, that too.
We love spooky animation. Stuff that is like... I mean, I know you like stuff that's scary too, to a degree, but I'd say like fun, but not like absolutely like scare your pants off. It's stuff that we have experience with growing up together watching those types of cartoons.
Definitely.
Halloweeny things, you know.
I'd say for animation, my tolerance for horror is actually a lot higher than it is for like films or anything else or live action.
Yeah.
Because I don't love the horror like genre a ton. I don't go out of my way to watch a ton of horror movies. Again, I will watch them if I think that they're really good. Like, critically acclaimed films I'll go out of my way to watch, even if I think they'll scare me, because I know that there's something good about them that I think I should see.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean, I think this show, I don't think that this one it pushes the boundary for kids shows for sure. I mean, the first episode that we watched scared the dickens out of Alec. Remember the Pauline's, like... Is this a spoiler? Can I even say that?
It's the very first episode,
yeah, like, Pauline's...
Pauline Phoenix's...
Corpse? Ghost?
Yeah, there's definitely...
Possessed body?
I forgot.
There's a jump scare, and it actually kind of gets you.
Yeah, and...
Kubo and the Two Strings is a good movie. Sorry.
You're good. Yeah, I mean, I think the fact that this was a show we had very high expectations for walking in, and it delivered on those expectations through season 1 and 2. Also, of course... touching on inclusive themes that have never, ever been seen in a cartoon before.
Yeah.
It's just like, I don't know. I consider it a masterpiece. I'm sure that there's even more creative freedom that they could have had that could even take this to another level should the show be able to continue.
Yeah.
And boy, I hope it gets a season 3.
Oh, hey!
It feels like I needs it.
Martin became a member.
Oh,
on YouTube.
Wow! All right, we've got a new theater kid.
I don't know. That might not have shown. Did that show up in the same chat? No, that might have been a minute ago.
Yeah,
it didn't show up in our can join chat.
I know that a lot of people know the name Patreon as something that is like to give to your creators, but YouTube member is essentially the same thing.
Yeah.
We are planning on introducing Patreon as well.
Yeah, so thank you so much to Martin Sainvena. I'm going to pronounce everything wrong. For becoming a member. I really, 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 really appreciate it. It helps us so much. It helps the channel thrive. Thank you.
It also feels good that people care enough. And if you become a member and you look into the recent community posts, you can find that Shrek the Halls reaction that we were not allowed to post on YouTube.
Yeah.
And that is the only way you can possibly find it right now. So, just something to keep in mind.
I wonder if we were already demonetized on YouTube. I can't insert an ad. Oh well.
You know what? We're doing this for the fans.
Whatever, YouTube. Yeah, everybody...
I had a feeling that we were going to get pulled out for something. But...
So, full disclosure, the more that we get... The streams, YouTube doesn't care about streamers. So, if you're watching on YouTube, we really appreciate it. The memberships and stuff mean even more, so thank you so much. And yes, yet another reason to check out Twitch, too, if you haven't.
Yeah, we keep having issues with these streams that YouTube is stopping us from monetizing them because there's music in the wrong place, or, we show a trailer, but Twitch doesn't really do that to us.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, obviously, that's why when somebody becomes a member and gives the sub like they did earlier in this stream, it means it's a big deal. And we understand that not everybody has the means for it. So, no worries. Just, we really do appreciate it when people are able to. So, thank you.
Yeah.
Dead End Paranormal Park. If I had one more thing that I want to see from the show, it is just more rides. I want to be able to see more of this universe that Hamish has created that I know is so vast.
Yep.
And once again, Hamish Steele, being a supporter of our show,
Oh, hey, somebody paid for the cheer. Thanks so much for the money cheer.
Oh, yes, I love it.
Or not paid. I don't remember if that was channel points or
more
paid,
things you can do on Twitch is, activate these
More
buttons.
things you can do on Twitch. You can make Jake say money. It's kind of cool.
Yeah, I will say that, like, I can't say enough about Hamish Steele. Obviously, like, we are a reaction channel, first of all. And I can understand how that would make some content creators feel like, oh man, I don't know if this is, the right thing. Like, I don't know if I should be on their channel because technically, like, they're showing my thing on YouTube. But Hamish has been such a big fan of reaction channels their whole life. And I just was like, y'all didn't see this in the interview, but right before we got in, he's like, wow, this is like really surreal to get to talk to you guys in person.
Yeah,
we're like that. It's surreal for you?
Yeah.
Like,
dude, that was wild.
And just so incredibly kind about our show. And
oh, hey, I just found out that this live thing is different. Like, it created... YouTube pisses me off.
Well, that's all right. We have plenty of time to.
No, that's true. But now I just need to do a little thing real quick.
Sure, no worries. No, you're good. Do the stuff that you got to do. So, along with the fact that Hamish was so kind to our channel, I also felt like Dead End attracted a bunch of like really positive, wonderful people to our community because it's the type of show where a lot of people like came in and felt like our channel was a safe space to share their experiences, which honestly like actually made me cry sometimes. I didn't reply to everything, but I saw it, and I know how much it meant to a lot of you. And just having friends who have gone through a lot of things, it also meant a lot to me for this show to exist. And I think it's going to mean a lot for years and years to come. And I don't know what's going to happen with streaming services and what the preservation is going to be like for some of these shows that exist right now, because Netflix is still relatively young. But I believe that Dead End is going to be a show that has a legacy that withstands, because it has done something at a time it's never been done. Ooh, of course, having like the first trans protagonist in a kid's show, and not to skirt around it at all. And not only that, but having characters like Norma and having her anxiety explored in a way that was so relatable to so many people.
Absolutely.
Like they understood who their characters were. They understand what they wanted to deliver, and they did it like succinctly and beautifully. And they made you feel things in a show that is appropriate for all ages, except for maybe like little kids who might be scared by it. But I loved it. And I agree for me that it's S tier, that it's the kind of show that we love. And it's the reason that we love shows like Adventure Time and Steven Universe. It's weird and sometimes it's dark, but it also makes you feel things.
Yeah. And the more I think about it and talk about it, it's one thing that gets better every single time. Like every plot line, there's nothing about this show that takes me out of it. There's no plot holes. There's nothing. And don't tell me if there are, because I'm not looking for those experiences. I hope everybody knows I'm not intentionally a dick. It's completely by nature. Anyway, but yeah, no, I put this in S tier, easy. I think it's like what it does, what it means for animation, what it means for like, I don't know, so many communities, man. I couldn't go. This is another show that I'd gush about a lot.
Yes, and please give us a season 3.
Yeah,
Netflix.
For real. Usually I would. This is a time where I'd say support our channel, which is great. But like, if you love Dead End, find a way to support Dead End too. Like, go find merch, go buy the graphic novels, watch it on Netflix, whatever can be done.
Yeah,
because I'd love to see this show keep living. I hate what Netflix is doing to its shows. Alrighty, do you want to talk about Inside Job next? Or do you want to talk about Gravity Falls for a second?
Let's talk about Gravity Falls for a second.
Alright, so this video that I'll just click on real quick for us. Oh, I did a cute little intro. Let's hear my little cute intro. I don't remember this. I remember that intro. Don't demonetize us for our own music, please.
That would be so funny.
That'd be so funny.
We're already demonetized on YouTube. Who cares?
Actually, we weren't. I just messed up.
Oh.
Welcome to Hester Brothers Cartoon Theater, everybody. I'm Lucas, and you might notice...
I hate watching myself.
Really? I love watching myself.
Really?
Yeah.
Our podcast, actually. I don't know how many of you guys know
I used to hate it.
do this, but Alec and I have
Wow.
a Gravity Falls podcast called Gravity
I'm just gonna let myself explain this.
Which where you can find that, we'll all be in the description. We had a conversation about Alex Hirsch
tweeting, he and a representative from Disney were having censorship discussions, so he saved a bunch of these emails and shared some of them. Alec shares them with me on this episode of the podcast, and I react to it and listen to it for the first time, and we have a really awesome discussion about censorship in media and stuff like that, so I wanted to share it with you guys. Obviously, do all the YouTube things like
Alright, I don't want to hear myself talk any more than that. But, yeah,
that covers it. So we have a Gravity Falls rewatch podcast that I know a lot of people aren't really into audio-only things, so I think that we maybe missed some of you on that.
There's no way YouTube made our thing for kids, right? I'm so glad that you said that, because I need to go fix that immediately, if that is what happened.
Oh, yeah, that's a good thing to double check. So... yeah, we've been doing this Gravity Falls rewatch podcast for a while. We were on a break because I had to move here and it was hard to make sure that we would actually get it done in time. But we finished season 1 and we did an episode for every single one that we watched.
Well, we better not swear on this stream because never mind. I was able to fix it. Thank God. Okay, never mind. This is not made for kids. We swear here. Sorry, everyone.
Yep. Cool. Appreciate you, Asmi.
Thank you, Asmi. I really appreciate you calling me out for that one. I clicked the wrong button.
That's all right. We're still figuring this whole thing out.
Nah, that's not something I need to figure out. I know exactly how to do it right. I just clicked the wrong button.
That's all right. So this actual video was about us reacting to the tweets that Alex Hirsch, the creator of Gravity Falls, had basically shared on all of the standards and practices dialogue discussion that went back and forth about the things that were censored in Gravity Falls or may have been censored, and him arguing them. And it's a really, really interesting podcast. And again, this one's on YouTube, so it's one that you can actually see for those of you that don't like the audio-only ones.
Yeah.
But it was very fun to talk through. We literally went through every single wild tweet that he interacted with in Disney. It was very fun. And in general, the podcast is fun. We're planning on picking up the Gravity Bros podcast again soon. It's still going to be audio only for now, but after it's done, we're planning on a new podcast and that one will be on YouTube as well. That's the plan, is that we're going to be able to share it so that the people who watch videos can see it as well. And remember when I talked about a ship before that everybody would hop onto and enjoy cartoons together? That might have something to do with the new podcast that's going to be coming up later this year. So keep that in mind.
Also, apparently, frick, crap, freaking, oh my goodness, poop head. That's a good one. Butthead are all deemed monetizable. Oh yeah, that was from this, remember? That was from the Gravity Falls thing.
Oh!
Remember him talking about that? Like, Poophead was the one that somehow flew.
Yeah, there were a lot on there. A lot of really wild things.
It flew in one context, but not in another, because in one context it sounded like a replacement for shithead, but in the other it worked.
Interesting.
Because censorship.
Yeah. I guess this might be a decent time to talk about Gravity Falls as a whole. Because we are kind of talking about, one of the shows that we watched was Gravity Falls, and, not to bury the lead here, but Gravity Falls is S tier for me.
Oh yeah, Gravity Falls is easily S tier for me too. I put Gravity Falls, Steven Universe, and Adventure Time actually in like a holy trinity of animation. The god of which, the precursor was Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Yeah.
So like Avatar: The Last Airbender proved that we could take children seriously with our cartoons, right? For some reason, we needed that to prove that kids had brains. Because we had nothing... Okay, anyway, I won't go on that tangent. But, so then, once that happened, then we got the holy trinity of Adventure Time, Steven Universe, and Gravity Falls that all came in similar time. And then, kind of, the reason that those things thus birthed Owl House, and Dead End, and Centaur World, and, like, all of these amazing shows that we have now. I really credit it all to, like, Avatar, and I think like, there were other shows in that Holy Trinity, too, that I don't want to, like, overshadow, because I think, like...
They were important.
Yeah, there were other ones that were important in that part, too. But, yeah, like, that's, like, a whole era that created animation for what we know, and, I put all of them in S tier just for, like, for how amazing and their impact on how art has changed.
Yeah, and look, the reason that we picked Gravity Falls for a rewatch podcast is that it's literally about two siblings growing up together, having these mysterious adventures, and that's basically what Lucas and I loved growing up.
Yeah.
It's very relatable to us, and it's also a show that reconnected us because Lucas asked me to watch this after I'd been out of the animation game for a while. I loved cartoons so much growing up, but college sort of took that away from me. And he's like, watch this show. And ever since, I've been back in it. And next thing you know, that we sort of picked this up. So,
also, loving all the gay pride stuff in the comments. Y'all are the best.
Yes, absolutely.
Makes me very happy. So, want to go to the next one?
Yeah.
All right. Oopsies. Nobody needs to see that my Discord audio has changed.
Oh, there you go.
Okay.
So we should talk about Inside Job really quick, which we did cover for an episode.
Inside Job, and I think this is going to be a good gateway for us to talk about this genre of animation in general, and how there's no way we're ever going to cover it on the show.
Yeah, not to disappoint people.
Sorry,
because I know a lot of people love Inside Job.
I'm not going to tiptoe around it. And the reason is because look, Rick and Morty is a show that I personally enjoy watching, but it's not something that I'd ever enjoy covering on YouTube. First of all, sorry, this I'm way too ADHD for this.
Yeah, you can't be watching the chat.
I don't care. Somebody asked if we'd ever consider voice acting. Absolutely.
In a
I would
heartbeat.
do that so immediately if I was ever offered. I would be a voice actor for anything. That sounds like so much fun.
I would want to learn proper voice acting, because I do it for fun a lot. But I do have some theater experience, but I'm not like well trained in voice acting specifically, and it is a specific skill.
Yeah.
And somebody said that they loved Inside Job. I see everybody's loving. The problem is not whether Inside Job is a good show.
Yeah,
it was
it's not
very
whether
clear that it was great.
Yeah, for me, it's just that for a reaction, it's hard to cover comedies like that, because there's lots of jokes that people want us to react to, and there's all these particular things. But the thing is, it's shows like this usually are very fast paced, right? Mm-hmm. So we don't really get to talk about it ever until the very end. So it's not a lot of fun for us to actually do in the format that we like. And in all honesty, the end conclusion a lot of the time would be, that was funny, but that's pretty much all I liked about it. And we don't want to just keep making videos over and over and over again that are just we thought it was funny, but we don't really like them that much. You know what I mean?
Or even if we love it, but we're laughing the whole time, and by the time we finish laughing, we've missed a joke, and somebody tells us that we missed an important thing. With stuff like that, there's a lot to watch, and it's actually just hard to react to.
Yeah, it's tough for us to get to, and I'm sure that people do it, and they find ways, and I could research it, but, part of it is a branding thing, too, is that there are other things that I think we'd rather cover, not just for marketing, but for ourselves, that we'd enjoy more. Such as, I guess we should probably rank Inside Job.
Again, I don't want to do one episode,
I feel less confident ranking it, but based on the episode that I saw, I'd put it in B tier, honestly.
I bet if you watched the whole thing, it would go up to A tier.
Yeah, I'll bet it would.
have a feeling.
I think I'd actually think it's really funny, and I'd enjoy it personally. Maybe hey, you know what? If anybody ever makes it as an animator and wants us to be voice actors, hit me up. I'm down.
Let's see. So,
Felix the Cat.
Actually, this might be a good, greater discussion about classic cartoon coverage as a whole.
Yeah.
We had so much fun with this reaction. Let me say that.
Yeah, this was a good one.
It was very fun. It's from 1928. This is probably our least viewed video of the whole year. I'm pretty sure.
Is it really?
No,
it's not.
Well, unless you count lowest reaction, probably.
No.
Oh, Scooby-Doo was lower? That actually is wild to me. Okay, interesting. Well, we'll unpack that in a second.
This was a pretty solid thumbnail. I'm not gonna lie. I think this was a really nice.
Yeah, I guess it was enough to give it a little bit of a boost. But we love old cartoons. Right, we grew up with them. Our parents raised us on old cartoons.
Absolutely.
And it's just been an extremely fun thing for us to get to do together. We would love to be able to do more of these things. And in this specific case, we were critiquing a really wild old episode of Felix the Cat that is just a cartoon that could never be made now. If Cuphead decided they wanted to go that dark, they wouldn't have been able to do certain things.
Yeah.
And I think that even though I'm more of a Mickey Mouse fan, based on that thumbnail, by the way, than a Felix the Cat fan, I do really appreciate what Felix brought to animation, and I thought it was very fun to revisit that old cartoon.
Yeah, and I think it
for me, this was fun because it it pretty much just talks about the same interesting Max Fleischer trippy styles that started being hand drawn and gave birth to a lot of what we know now.
Mm-hmm.
And we have this idea for doing a toon museum where we have a sort of gallery of different cartoons and what their role has been through the landscape of animation through the years. And it's cool to start at these ones. In terms of ranking them is tricky. Where do you put Felix the Cat?
I mean, anything
in the animation
for
sphere.
me, a cartoon character that has lasted almost 100 years and is still relevant is S tier immediately.
Chat,
I
don't know. I don't necessarily agree because I don't think popularity or longevity necessarily means something's good.
If I was ranking iconic characters on a tier list,
that's
specifically
different.
Iconic characters, that's a different conversation.
Yeah, that's a different conversation.
And then it ends up on B for me, probably, maybe even C. Because I think that, Wait,
what did you put it for not that?
S if we're talking about every cartoon in the whole book. But if we're narrowing it down
I have the complete different take.
Really?
If you're narrowing it down to icons, Felix the Cat's more of an icon than an actually good show.
I mean,
it's the first show. I mean, not the first show, but it's early animation. It's not good by modern standards.
Right.
We can appreciate it historically.
Yeah.
But it's bad. If somebody made that now, you wouldn't even pass animation school.
Well, okay, yeah, but...
You know what I mean? That's literally day 2 that you learn how to do stuff
But I factor in legacy... Okay, I guess if I'm isolating that cartoon on its own, that's true. But if I'm thinking of Felix the Cat as a character... that's what I mean when I say,
Yeah, but as a character, he has more staying power and icon than is the show being something that people would actually go back and watch for anything other than historical value.
But if you compare that icon status to other iconic cartoons like Mickey, I don't think that Felix quite compares.
Well, that's fair, but if you compare Felix the Cat, the show, to other shows, it doesn't even come close either.
Well... Yeah, okay, maybe.
Not even close.
All right, you talked me.
No
you talked me into dropping it.
No way.
I guess,
mean, don't get me wrong.
I understand what you're saying.
Just because something's classic and we can appreciate it for it, having changed the landscape, doesn't mean that it's good now.
But I grade everything on a curve based on when it was made, and that's kind of
I
how I think about it. Because you can't compare Dead End Paranormal Park to Felix the Cat. Again, they're different generations.
I can compare them, and the reason I can compare them is because I'd watch Dead End all the way through multiple times, and I would not do the same for Felix the Cat.
Fine. But again, I'm not watching Felix the Cat to binge. I'm watching it to have a good time and put some classic cartoons on in the background. It's a vibe show versus a plot show.
That's fine, and
But Dead End is a vibe show too. Dead End is a great show.
Sure. Well, some. I mean, that's the thing. But the best shows are both and, right?
Yeah.
That's why Steven Universe, Adventure Time, and Dead End are so good.
But I could
they don't have to walk
I
that
will
line.
say
They do both perfectly.
I rarely enjoy a show that's just a plot show, and I feel like I'm not digging the vibes. I just thought, but I can enjoy a vibe show and not care about the plot.
An example of a plot show.
Oh my gosh, Game of Thrones.
Oh, well, I don't like any live-action shows because I just think they're badly written.
I guess a cartoon. I pull a better example out of the hat.
Invincible. You don't like Invincible?
That's true. I don't love Invincible.
That was because it was graphic.
Yeah, it's a little too graphic for
I
me.
thought Invincible was phenomenal.
Vox Machina is graphic, and Vox Machina gives me the vibes that I want. So, look, different tastes.
Yeah.
All right. I know. I'm sorry, chat. I've actually not been reading.
I've been watching.
So...
I'm keeping.
Okay, so hopefully no new questions that we've missed.
Nah, people have been talking about being creators.
Oh,
wait,
cool.
Alec, do you just like Felix the Cat because he's a cat? Because you know he wasn't in Cats 2019, right?
Okay, I actually love that comment.
Me too.
Felix the Cat should have been in Cats. In fact, we should make a Cats musical with all the cats from animation.
I hate this idea.
Oh my god, I mean, it would be trademark like hell.
Oh yeah.
It's not possible to actually do.
Dude,
but just as like a fan fiction in my head, if somebody could make art of just like a bunch of cat characters from animation in like the Cats musical, I will share it on the Instagram.
Thank you for saying "What have I done," Curtis? I was just going to say this is your fault. Oh my god, Garfield is Rum Tum Tugger.
Yes, Rum Tum Tugger is a curious cat.
Well, that's the end of the stream, everyone. No, I'm just kidding.
Lucas, there is no cat more... Wait, let me make sure that I get this right. There's never been a cat so clever as Magical Mr. Mistopheles. Don't forget about that.
Dude, I don't know what you're talking about. I have not watched that movie enough to know inside jokes.
Great. Well, anyway. We've been on this far too long. Amphibia.
Amphibia.
This is interesting. because I've seen almost all. Well, I shouldn't say all of it. Amphibia. I haven't finished season 3 yet. Lucas has seen only the episode I showed him.
I've seen one episode, and what I will say is, based on that episode, it seems like one of the shows that I was talking about kind of springboarded off of the Adventure Time era.
Yeah.
And I hate to say it, but it looks like one that was watered down a little bit. And the reason that I say that is because Disney is just not able to make the same kind of jokes that like Cartoon Network can, because they're not allowed to push the boundaries as much. I regularly the other part of me would be like, oh, but Owl House. Well, that might have been a few artists within Disney supporting a really great show, but I think history is telling us that maybe Disney didn't actually support it all that much. So I'm thinking that it's rare that writers are going to get that much leeway. Then again, there's Gravity Falls too. But I don't know, man. The thing is, I want to watch Amphibia, and I'm definitely going to. But I feel like I would be surprised if it didn't feel like it was just, Adventure Time light. Like it was just not as good as the shows that did what it was trying to do, that have already done it and did it better. Mm-hmm. Now let me know, chat, if I'm wrong about that, because I haven't seen it.
So I would push back, because again, I've seen more than you have at this point. Now I will say, I did feel like that episode captured the essence, even though maybe it was not one of the actual best ones. I kind of wanted us to get a spooky episode, which was kind of why I picked it.
Yeah.
I think if you started it, you would start feeling like, this isn't going to deliver for you. I was enjoying it. But I think that if you gave it enough time, you would really appreciate the charm that it has. Yeah. I think it's a great show. I think that they actually got some amount of creative freedom that held up.
I just want to say, Lady CJ and Ishii just both cheered bits. I don't know why those didn't come up.
Oh. Well.
But thank you for that.
Interesting.
Oh, yes. I do know why that didn't come up. It's because my browser's in front of it. Sorry.
Oh, cool. So it did show up, but maybe we just didn't see it?
Yeah.
Okay, great.
I'll replay the SpongeBob one.
Oh, nice. I love it. Oh, yeah. There we go.
I feel like maybe our audio is not working for the extensions. I might have to reset it, but that's okay. I'll do it later.
Cool. Well,
it worked.
Got it. Yes, everybody.
Thanks so much, Mystery Mo. I appreciate the cheers.
Yes, and they were one of the shows that kind of got screwed over by the mouse. They also had a major leak that really affected their show, because all the most passionate people watched it early, which was a bummer for the creators. But I will tell you, I think it's really, really wonderful, and even if we didn't react for it in the show, I think that it would be fun to watch with you.
Amphibia. So, I think, I'm going to watch this show.
Amphibia is A tier for me. A for Amphibia.
Everybody on YouTube, that's a Twitch thing. Only Twitch. All right, what's next?
Yeah, that's true.
Scooby-Doo.
Okay, yeah. So this is going to be an interesting...
Now, this is a classic, formulaic show that I don't think is bad in the way that I think other things are bad.
Sure.
And the reason is because... there's something... Now, as much as I like Felix the Cat is very similar to a lot of other shows that are of that style that were improved upon later. Mm-hmm. Scooby-Doo, even that version, the original first Scooby-Doo, still to this day, has done things that nothing else has done the way that it did. The laugh track is so weird. Yeah. And it will never work again. But it works for this show.
A laugh track in a cartoon.
Yeah, a laugh track in a cartoon. And it doesn't work. Usually doesn't work. I can't even tell you why it works. But on YouTube I get my cool star. Oh, that's true.
Yes, Blake Elizabeth.
Blake Elizabeth is a member. And you've got the cool membership priorities as well. The mouse does hate us creators, especially the gay ones. It's quite unfortunately true.
Yeah, that's really complicated and a nuanced conversation.
There's a lot of really passionate people within Disney that fight really hard.
And there's a lot of really amazing people within Disney who are part of that community too, and I know many of them.
I think that Hamish Steele actually said it best when he was talking about working with Netflix to try to tell Dead End Story.
Yeah.
And he said, I'm not fighting Netflix. I'm working with Netflix to try to create the best show that we're all allowed to create.
Yeah.
And I think the problem with Disney being such a huge machine is that usually most of the people are actually all working together to try to create the best show.
Oh, actually, that was what Alex Hirsch said, actually.
Was it what Alex Hirsch said? Wow, I got them confused.
Again.
Wait, did they?
Yeah.
Did he say that?
He tweeted that.
Oh, wow, you're right.
And he's right. And again, it's not the creators, and to some degree, it's not even specific people within the company. And listen, like, I am speaking to this a little bit from a Disney historian perspective, also from the perspective of being, like, internal within the company, so kind of take it with a grain of salt. But I think that Disney is overly protective of their brand.
Oh, yeah.
And it's because they've been a brand for so long, and Netflix doesn't have that.
Well, I mean, yeah. I think...
And Disney, they're just... They play scared, and I've been very frustrated at a lot of these moves that they've made.
That's what it is they play scared.
And I think that, you know, there were a lot of reactions to things that came out recently that I was extremely frustrated with how the company handled. It's not only in regards to animation, that they were not sticking up for their gay cast members when they needed to, which made me really upset.
Yeah, dude, Disney's been dropping I mean, but yeah, what else is new?
And... It's, again, I think it's because they play scared. I think that they're in a different position than a lot of these other companies are.
Yeah.
But I think that at some point you just got to take a stand. And now that the former CEO, Bob Chapek, has been removed and we put Bob Iger back in, I'm not saying it's going to solve the problems, but I think that it is likelier that you are going to see better things. Don't hope maybe that's going to be famous last words, but that's my perspective. So anyway.
Bob Paycheck. Ah, that's funny.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, but I didn't even get to put my 2 cents in on Scooby-Doo, which is a show that is so crucial to my childhood. This was my favorite cartoon. Yeah. And to some degree, it still is. You know, if you ask me on the right day, what's my favorite cartoon? You know, I'd be hard-pressed to not say Scooby-Doo because I'm so attached to it. I also am a Scrappy-Doo stan. I think that Scrappy-Doo is underrated in animation history, but that's a conversation we can have at another day. Hopefully the chat doesn't explode.
Or leave. No, I'm just kidding. Mm-hmm. We don't love Scrappy. You know, I always say that Scrappy's underrated. Or at least the hate is overdone. Maybe not an underrated character, but at least overhated.
Sure.
I put Scooby-Doo firmly in A tier for me. I think that it still has, like, obviously some problems with, like, voice acting and stuff that like, I have to dock it, but its nostalgia stands really high, and it's very creative and sets something very amazing in motion, which is still going on, which is Scooby-Doo.
Yeah, and Scooby has had so many iterations, too, and this also, I can transition. We're going to be covering at least the first 2 episodes of Velma coming up. Which is a show that clearly is getting a lot of polarizing attention.
Yeah.
Which makes me a little hesitant, but also excited.
I'm excited. I'm so excited because mostly I'm just excited for, you know, a Scooby-Doo canon that's doing something new because it's one of the few IPs that I actually get excited when I see stuff released for because it usually cranks out, maybe not usually, but it cranks out good stuff a lot of the time. And that's better than most IPs, in my opinion. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Because if an IP is just re-releasing stuff, it's usually bad.
Well, and here's my thing. Scooby-Doo has been done in, like, 15 different iterations, and they've all been different.
Yeah.
And it bothers me that the thing that people are pointing to about this new series is, like, oh my god, it's going to be too woke, which just...
I'm excited.
We're not the channel for you, if you feel that way, admittedly.
I totally agree with Blake Elizabeth on this. I'm very excited to either love or hate Velma.
And that's the thing,
Me too. That is exactly it. I'm very excited to either love or hate it. 100%.
If I hate it, it's probably going to not be for the same reason that a lot of annoying people are hating it, right? I think that my concern is that...
I just hope it's not done well in, like, in a reductionistic way.
The animation looks beautiful.
Yeah.
I think that if they... The problem that they're going to have, in my opinion, is just the fact that Scooby-Doo is kind of a wholesome show, and anytime you mess with something that is wholesome, people are going to react to it, you know, oftentimes negatively. For us, though, like, we're there to have a good time with whatever we watch, and for me, nothing is too sacred. For me, it doesn't bother me that they are taking that risk.
For me, that, like, the idea that... Scooby-Doo has been turned into everything. Like, if you don't think Velma and Daphne has not existed prior to this show, you are out of your goddamn mind.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, there's nothing too sacred about Scooby-Doo because there's nothing that hasn't been done already on the internet. I promise you. So I'm not too worried about Velma pushing the boundaries past our comfort zone.
I think it would be the healthiest for people to not look at it the lens of, I am watching my childhood favorite cartoon right now. You know, watch it as the adult show that it is and see if you like it like that.
And CJ, I agree with you. People getting mad for the Velma thing have forgotten about Mystery. Forgotten about Mystery Inc.
And Hot Dog Water. So, Mystery Inc. By the way, another great show, a recent show. So for me, all of these shows can live on their own and be part of the Scooby-Doo franchise and not ruin any of the others for you. There's some terrible Scooby-Doo iterations. There's one where Scooby, Shaggy, and Scrappy are with Scooby-Dum and this cousin of Shaggy's in the Old West. And they have like a bunch of short films of them not even solving mysteries, just having adventures. And it's awful. And people are talking about Scooby-Doo being
so much
too sacred.
For the sub. I don't know why that got shipped.
Yes!
My sound things are being janky for some reason, but thanks so much for the gifted sub.
No worries.
Where did that even come from?
Yeah, we will let you know when we figure out
who
it was.
Maybe, dude, it was Chris. Chris gifted 5 subs.
Oh, Chris, thank you so much. We appreciate it.
I don't know why that's not being added to our sub goal. Twitch supremacy. Oh, Twitch supremacy! Yo, I was just thinking about stoking the fire for the Twitch versus YouTube thing.
Actually, this could be a fun battle.
I was gonna say, like, how does YouTube counter?
But I don't know if I want people to jump on opposite trains and be like the YouTube crew and the Twitch crew. Do you?
Yeah.
But see, if we do,
I'm fascinated. I want to take part too. Well, Alec, which side do you take?
I don't know. Well, I'm interested because I don't know if the
I'll take both. I'll play both sides.
I don't know if the YouTube crew is the type to start throwing bits and memberships at us, to be honest. I feel like that's the Twitch people are delivering on that.
Oh, Mystery Mode lost #1 gift sub. Tragic.
Oh no, that's all right.
Yeah, no, don't let that
just a title.
Nobody, please don't actually spend too much money on our channel. I'm playing around because it's fun. I'm gambling.
Definitely. We like to have a good time here.
Not to say don't continue the hype train though.
Mm-hmm.
I'll give it back, all yours.
Let's see. Do you want to talk about Primal?
It's Primal next, yeah.
So this is a show that we've been dying to cover more of, but it's a little bit complicated. We watched the first episode. At first, the reaction didn't do that well, but it sort of gained a little bit of traction over time. And, I just thought that the premiere of Primal was something I had not seen before. It was a silent cartoon that people were in love with, and that made me so happy. Really? Because if there's one thing that I love, and I've said it on the show many times, it is great animation and storytelling without dialogue. That's what I love about old cartoons.
Absolutely.
And I think that the Cuphead show did that very well, many times.
Yeah. I really...
And Steven Universe does this too.
Yeah. This is also just a show that, like... Again, a lot of things. Something I have ended up talking about more than I was expecting I'd talk about is simply like, how many shows did something new that we watched? This was a show that, like, again, it's the same guy who did Samurai Jack. Is just
Gennady Tartakovsky.
Thank you.
You got it.
Just phenomenal, and the emotional kneecaps joke in this episode is also really funny.
Yeah, Lucas had like such a stark reaction to a joke that I told in this one. It's not gonna play as well without. Well, because the thing is though,
No, I haven't found the right. This is how well I knew this joke was because when I was editing, I thought it was so. Oh shoot! Blake just donated $5 on YouTube. This is just fun, and I promise. I don't need this 5, just proving the YouTube peeps are cool.
Oh my god!
Woo! Oh my god!
You're
Alright.
Fighting back! We love this!
I was gonna say, Asmi A asked, should I not be watching in both at the same time? And I was gonna say, no, you should. Because then you have even more control over which side you want to win.
Yeah, I mean, we're always telling people, go to Twitch, because, that's where, a lot of this type of stuff happens and all the trends. But listen, if people are having a great time at YouTube, have a good time at YouTube. Let's do it.
I'm actually like, I'm starting to get interested because we had another member join at the beginning of the stream.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm trying to think about where we're actually going to be getting more from because Twitch also takes more money. Oh,
we got another notification.
Asmi got a sub on Twitch.
Let's go. The hype train is rolling.
Oh,
can I say that? Is it too early?
Well, technically, I haven't like rigged up the hype train yet entirely, but like, yeah, pretty much. I consider it a hype train.
We love this. Thank you, everybody.
It's not a Twitch integrated hype train, but it's emotionally a hype train.
Yeah. Now I know that the Twitch and YouTube membership perks are slightly different, so I don't know where like that.
Shoot, dude! Mad Hatter just became a member.
Max Hatter Q. Yes, let's do it.
Max Hatter just became a member, so YouTube is starting to pull ahead.
All right.
All right, this is interesting.
So
Now,
please continue the war. I have to show us this emotional kneecaps joke because it's so funny.
but the payoff was a result of a joke that was told, or something that happened earlier in the video is the only tricky thing.
Oh, that's right. Oh, Twitch!
Oh, wait, we got another one on
Twitch comes in with a gifted sub!
Oh, man, here we go! This is so exciting.
This
What is going
crazy,
on?
dude. Thank you. Oh my god. I can shake 'em, I can! I'm a tough tootin'. I can't believe you did the Tough Tootin' Baby song!
Oh my gosh.
Evil bitch, I can punch you for fun.
Lucas totally set this up.
Oh my
probably
god.
just to annoy me.
I love that. I thank you especially for doing the Finn cheer.
Yes, and don't worry, yeah, Mr. and everybody.
Oh
we
my
know
gosh.
that money is
CJ?
not indicative of your support, but we appreciate you all.
CJ just cheered 100 bits.
Yes, you don't have to be giving money for us to appreciate you. Like, we love everybody
Looks like
here.
Twitch is pulling ahead again.
Yeah.
Thank you all for fighting in this war. I'm glad to have orchestrated the chaos.
Yeah. No, and again, I see the people saying, oh, I don't have money, I can't. Seriously, no worries.
Oh, yeah, of course.
We know that you're big supporters, and you just being here alone is amazing.
Yeah, of course. Being here at all, you mean?
Yes. So, yeah, again, we gotta figure out, like, I don't know how to reconcile the fact that the YouTube members and the Twitch subscriptions have, like, different things going on.
Yeah.
And then, the Patreon's coming soon, too, but this is really interesting.
We fight, Hester Brothers win. It's a great day.
Right, but listen.
It's true, Brie. It's true. So anyway, emotional kneecaps. So this guy is literally about to, like, jump off a cliff because his whole family was eaten by dinosaurs.
I And
that's the context.
Earlier in the episode, I sort of.
Look at the emotion on his kneecaps.
That's it.
Okay, so yeah, that was the context. I said, look at the emotion on those kneecaps, and then obviously we realized, like, a couple... Oh, wait! We got another sub on Twitch from CJ, another gifted sub.
Yes, let's go!
Oh
CJ
my gosh.
always dropping the subs.
Yo, that's crazy. That's crazy. Thank you all so much.
Yeah, we really appreciate it.
This has been such a very successful, wow.
Sure. So I feel like people are enjoying the cartoon chat, right? Like this.
Yeah, I know, right? Or at least the war between YouTube and Twitch. I'm happy with
nothing
either.
else, yeah. No, honestly, like again, we're figuring out what streams work. Like, I love how active and
involved
everybody is right now.
You know what's interesting too is that Twitch and YouTube are actually able to chat with each other in this system, which I never imagined being one of the perks of doing it this way. It's really
okay, that is interesting.
Oh, thanks for the spiritual money, my soul!
Yes, we feel the spiritual money. Yin is artsy. Thank you.
Yeah, I felt that spiritual gift. Wait, did the spiritual money come from Twitch or YouTube? That came from YouTube!
Amazing. Oh, that was YouTube. Okay, spiritual money from YouTube. Back it up to the actual spot one more time, and then we'll let this roll, regardless of what happens.
So yeah, this is the setup for the emotional kneecap. Glad I stayed up to 5:30 a.m. I'm glad.
One of Lucas's favorite moments from the show this year.
We have the least amount of complaints of us talking over crap this whole time. That was a funny part of this one too, because it was silent. Yeah. Even though we might be horrified this whole experience based on this intro, I want to watch more already for sure. I do want to finish. This is really good. Ooh, more spiritual money. Thank you, Emberfire. Look at the colors of that sunset. Look at the emotion on his kneecaps. I'm sorry.
Those are some emotional kneecaps right there.
Some emotional. Look how much. So, we didn't realize what was going on. Like, we didn't realize he was having a depression moment.
Oh, wait.
And then we did.
And then I realized it was like we were not paying proper attention, and suddenly realized.
Yeah, because
embarrassing.
I was so hung on this joke. Okay, first of all, this moment was really sad, actually.
And then flash forward. And then and
then flash forward to this fight. Hold on, I'm gonna like just look for wherever I like lean forward and just start laughing way too hard because it all happens in an instant.
Do it. Oh, Emberfire says that wasn't them, so we missed something. But
everyone's staying.
That's all right. Yeah, I'm trying to almost like follow and see if I can respond to something here, but chat's moving fast.
Oh, come on.
There's no way they're like alive, right?
Oh no, wait. We're almost there.
We're almost there. Yeah, you can let it roll.
I'm
pretty
roll.
sure that this is gonna be fine.
We're
look,
already
YouTube,
going to be demonetized.
YouTube already demonetized us.
Actually,
that's why
I
our
don't
chat
think
is
that's
coming
true.
in. Oh yeah, that's right. We actually don't know it for sure.
He's definitely the protagonist. He's not going
Yeah. Oh, it's around here, right?
Right about here.
Oh, they are gonna be friends.
We have a chatty community. I love it, right? We do have a chatty community. It's because we're chatty.
Yeah, that's true. We talk all the time.
As above, so below.
We're also positive, and we like to ring in the positive.
Yeah, there's a lot of positive people here too.
Play this guy.
Wait.
Keep it. We're gonna get there.
I'm just afraid.
You're afraid of it getting pulled down?
Yeah.
That's fair. I was more afraid in the beginning, but now I think I'm riding the...
Virtual hugs, all the spiritual money and virtual hugs I appreciate. I think YouTube has an edge in spiritual money. In Brobucks. No, it wasn't. That was sick. Oh wait, dude, I don't think we saw it. Wait.
No, we're still good.
I don't think so. He beat the dinosaur.
Oh. We're trying to pay this thing off and we can't even find the freaking part.
There's no way they're gonna do it a second time. He's gonna win.
Hey, somebody ask me questions while Lucas is looking for the right moment.
That sounds good.
Yeah,
He just... Oh, there it is. I found it. Okay, ready? Remember, kneecaps, emotional kneecaps, depression.
Wait, you might have been a
That
little
was the
early.
context.
I'm gonna be way more sad.
They do have theater tickets as points. That's true. I did set that up.
Now I don't know what I'm for. I really don't know what I would do in this situation. I'd probably watch it.
By the way, little graphic here. Forewarning.
It's still like the natural life cycle. Ooh, you see the emotion come right out of those kneecaps?
I feel like you wanted to highlight this because none of the comments like really acknowledge this moment, and I don't know if they like saw the first one. But
there's a CJ comment. Thanks so much.
I know. I really enjoy.
I thought that was just so funny, dude.
I just enjoy the moments from the show where we're having the most fun, regardless of whether they were the most watched videos or not.
Oh, absolutely. Those look at the emotion come right out of those kneecaps. Oh, more spiritual money!
Yes, we love the spiritual money. Thank you.
I will say Twitch is winning in terms of money, though.
Yeah, in terms of actual money,
they
though.
definitely pulled ahead.
So
oldest cartoon you remember watching? Ooh.
That is a great question. What is the oldest cartoon?
Probably Scooby-Doo, honestly.
Do you think? I would say that probably would be my answer too.
Yeah, because I
but
think
it's only because I don't know what I remember before.
I mean, I don't know, maybe because I don't think our parents didn't like raise us on like intentionally watching like Dora the Explorer or anything like that. So I feel like Tom and Jerry, like stuff that Dad grew up watching, is probably what we watched first. Right?
Yeah, I mean, whatever was classic, whatever our parents had on, that was it. You know, like we definitely watched old cartoons before we watched newer things. I mean, and maybe though, like my actual memories are going to be even like younger than that. Like Blue's Clues, I have very young memories of.
Oh, thanks so much, Mystery Mo, for getting that Discord link in the Twitch too.
Oh yeah,
if anybody wants to hang out on Twitch or on Discord,
yeah,
we have a little community there too for when we're not streaming live.
Oh my god, we're getting some great questions right now. Favorite cartoon as a kid? If it wasn't Scooby-Doo, I want to think about this in the lens of like what was my favorite current cartoon coming out at the time. And I think
as a kid,
as an adult, it became Avatar. Oh, I know what it is. Digimon. I was obsessed with Digimon, and Lucas and I were obsessed with Digimon together.
Oh shoot! YouTube is a bunch of hippies. We'll stay ahead in our love and spiritual money. Thank
yes!
you.
Blake Elizabeth is doing it for YouTube.
That makes me feel like YouTube, because man, see, you're appealing to my hippiedom. I'm like, oh wait, I'm a bunch of hippies.
YouTube.
Does that mean I'm more YouTube than Twitch?
I love this. Blake Elizabeth becoming the president of the YouTube community.
I know, right? No kidding.
The representative.
That's awesome. Thank you so much. Another $5 donation. I really appreciate it.
Psychic Money 44. Your favorite was Hey Arnold. Great choice. There's so many good Hey Arnold.
I did love watching Digimon. That's what I love that your favorite childhood show was an anime. I love that.
Yes.
Lucas is a giant hippie. Facts.
And somebody asked Flintstones or the Jetsons. I love that question because we watched both.
Yeah.
I think I'm more of a Flintstones guy. I liked Jetsons being in the futuristic setting.
Yeah, but I liked the characters in the Flintstones more.
Yeah, I have more memories of the Flintstones. I now, in hindsight, think Fred Flintstone is like a terrible father. just like many modern adaptions.
Powerful woman in charge of YouTube soldiers. Let's go.
Terrific.
That's what the world needs.
SpongeBob and Little Bear. Jeez, dude, like there are actually some really old. I remember Little Bear. I remember Cyber Chase was super fun.
You guys are making me so happy today. I'm freaking out. This is the best day.
See, well, not only that, I love how active. There's so many like good comments and everybody's chatting.
Oh, Life as a Teenage Robot was super underrated. Oh my god.
Yes, everybody, just start spitting out your favorite cartoons.
Yeah, no
what did
kidding.
you like? Seriously, like have at
Classic SpongeBob. Yep.
Oh my god.
Salute to the president of our YouTube, Blake Elizabeth. Let's go.
We also had VHS tapes of New Adventures of Winnie the Pooh Brie. I remember that, and I loved old Winnie the Pooh cartoons.
All these
somebody said Ben 10, Epic Randomness. I loved Ben 10.
Ben 10. Ooh, Life as a Teenage Robot is the trans show.
Oh! Never saw
that! I'm rewatching that show immediately after we're done streaming.
Holy cow, yeah.
Ed, and Eddie. I'm so rewatching that show. Backyardigans. That was one that I watched as a kid. I remember that. Slightly.
Definitely.
Ben 10, yeah. Teenage Robot was so good.
Definitely. Somebody mentioned Liberty's Kids in the Discord.
Oh, Dragon Tales! I did watch Dragon Tales.
Yes, me too.
That was a kids one that we watched. Yeah. We got into that. Thank you for reminding me of Dragon Tales. That was great.
Some of those PBS cartoons were great.
Wonder Pets, Angry Beavers. Thanks so much for sharing, everybody. These are great.
Seriously, no,
I'm hyped.
Saw somebody ask about Reluctant Dragon and old Disney cartoons.
Wait a minute, I want to share this.
And the answer...
Okay, we got level 2 hype train on Twitch, actually.
Oh, holy cow!
I was able to share it in the chat, because I wasn't able to actually... Wow, I shared it by just saying choo-choo. Okay, we still hit level 2 hype train on Twitch. Oh my god,
somebody's talking Tuttenstein.
Oh shoot, we actually hit level 3 on Twitch.
I saw Aladdin come through.
Oh my god, thank you all so much.
God, everybody, you are... rolling with these great cartoons. You're making me want to watch all of them.
Jesus.
Spirited Away, great movie. Lilo and Stitch, I actually love the series Lilo and Stitch. That's one that Lucas and I enjoyed.
Lilo and Stitch was a great show.
Choo-choo!
Right, choo-choo.
Yes, the...
Hype hands.
Gosh, do you remember PB&J Otter at all?
No, I don't know.
That was one... I think he was a little...
Bear in the Big Blue House?
Yes!
Technically not animated, but I do remember that.
Totally.
Oh wow, you watched Spirited Away growing up? That's sick.
And Howl's Moving Castle, one of my favorite Ghibli movies as well. Underrated Ghibli movie for me is The Cat Returns. That's actually one of my absolute favorites. I didn't know
that. I like that one. It's not one of my favorites, but I like it.
I just thought it was so silly and just so much fun.
That's valid, President. Oh my god, Asmi donated another 2.
Through YouTube?
Now we have a reason to... Through YouTube.
Asmi did one on Twitch and one on YouTube.
Yep.
Oh my gosh.
Taking the lead. Now we have a reason to rewatch Teenage Robot. Oh, we could do an actual reaction to that with that being the context.
Actually, Asmi, we owe you a glitch text.
Oh yeah, Asmi, we still owe you a glitch text reaction.
And we have not forgotten. It's just hard to find the time.
Yeah, we have not forgotten. We actually talked about it like yesterday. It is on the agenda still, I
Teenage
promise.
Robot has always been on my list of ones that I'm interested in watching.
Asmi's the double soldier I need.
Yeah, literally, we've got
I'm gonna start
a double agent over here.
I'm gonna start like setting up like battle stuff between the YouTube and Twitch animations. Oh, Danny Phantom also great one.
Oh my gosh, Danny Phantom is so good.
Yeah.
That is an underrated show.
Grandma used to record Betty Boop and Felix the Cat. That's sick. Yeah, our dad instilled us with a great love of classics.
That is
a lot of people
true.
have talked about TMNT, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. We never saw that.
That one came up a lot on our survey, which I was surprised about.
Yeah.
Tons of love for Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Again, if anybody wants to fill out the survey for 2023 HBCT content, still available on YouTube and Discord while the hype train is rolling.
Yeah.
The
He-Man, yeah.
He-Man and She-Ra. So eventually, we definitely would love to watch She-Ra and react to the whole series on the show. I'm thinking it's probably not good to do in tandem with Steven Universe, but maybe afterwards. But I want to watch like old He-Man and She-Ra even more. I think that would be very fun. Dude, there's a He-Man and She-Ra Christmas special. Like from the 80s.
I had a feeling
it looks terrific.
Pinky and the Brain. Animaniacs. Yo, yeah, Animaniacs and Freakazoid I loved.
Yeah, definitely. All great choices. Y'all are cultured. You have like
Y'all are cultured.
I didn't shout out everything.
I'm so proud of our chat right now.
I know.
All these great answers.
So this makes me very excited.
Oh, Mystery Mo.
Actually,
please link the survey. That'd be super helpful.
Mystery Mo, if that's easy for you to do, if you can do it from your end, by all means, feel free to drop the survey in the chat. And yeah, Animaniacs and Freakazoid, all those Warner Bros. Ones are so fun.
Yeah,
Lucas and I actually, and I don't know when this is gonna drop.
Oh yeah, we on our last stream we talked about the like Tiny Toons alcohol PSA that they made, and we actually watched it. We recorded it, and I have it in the tank for us to release. I need to edit it, and we'll get it out eventually. We have other things too, but it's there. We'll be getting it out, and that's a fun one, dude. That's funny.
We reacted to that Tiny Toons alcohol PSA. So, and again, taking a stab at a random one.
Oh yeah, the Disney Afternoon ones: Darkwing Duck, Tailspin, DuckTales.
I mean,
the Batman the Animated Series.
The Disney Afternoon stuff is great. You're right. Batman the Animated Series is one of the best ever.
Everybody, this is why we have a whole channel for this, because there's so many things that we need to experience collectively.
In Discord, there's a lot to talk about with a lot of this stuff. And Tailspin, by the way, I think is one of the underrated Disney Afternoon shows. People remember DuckTales. I think the DuckTales reboot is way better than the original. That's maybe a hot take. I know people love the original DuckTales.
I think that's very true.
But I think that Tailspin is maybe the best of the Disney Afternoon shows. I think it generally had the most enjoyable episodes out of all the shows of that era. Though Gargoyles is maybe better.
Oh yeah, Gargoyles.
It's tricky because I think of Tailspin, Darkwing, like Bonkers, and DuckTales kind of all being in the same vein.
Yeah.
And I think of Gargoyles like being isolated on its own, so it's hard for me to compare. But I watched Gargoyles recently.
You know, we have 23 subs right now.
This is
sorry,
incredible.
I just had to take a moment to say that.
We have gone from
We've only had 2 streams that we've gotten all of this in.
We've
so
got
I
up
really
to,
appreciate
we've got up 10 today. No, this is terrific.
And that's not to mention all the YouTube stuff too. So y'all are like incredible. Oh my goodness.
Definitely. Somebody mentioned Kids Next Door. I think another underrated, great cartoon that held up over time.
You received a level 2
hype train emote.
I keep getting more. I'm just gonna keep sharing this, I guess.
Choo choo! If y'all back up in the chat, I saw that Mystery Mo shared the survey link in there. Again, it's also on YouTube on the community posts. Fairly Odd Parents too.
Right, yeah.
See, again, it's impossible. Like, people start shouting them out. I'm like, oh yeah, that one, and that one, and that one. It's like, how do you even pick?
Choo choo. Thanks, Chris.
I
also I did get some of our Ishii made those Twitch emotes that I think are functional. I think you could find them.
Yes, members.
I spread them out in different ways, so I don't know where in Twitch you find them.
People who have Twitch subscriptions, do you want to go ahead and try those emojis and make sure that they're working?
Yeah, I think I got those.
Again,
some of them working. I might have put them in the wrong place. But,
yeah, if you can't, then we probably can't fix it in this stream, but we plan to very soon.
Oh, there's one.
Oh,
yeah,
yes,
okay.
there it is. Hey, okay, yep, there's Asmi using...
yeah, there's the hype ones. Cool.
The one of me laugh crying.
Nice. Yeah, there are some that you can, like, do extra cheers for, I think, but, like, yeah, these are the awesome. You are all the best. Thank you so much.
Oh, Yinazar.
Oh my gosh,
you guys
have
so much. Become some of my favorite YouTubers. You have very welcoming personalities. Thank you.
We like being welcoming.
Yeah, I mean, the whole idea of HBCG...
Alex crying face. Thanks, Chris.
To bring a bunch of people who love cartoons together in a form like this to just have a great time and talk about it.
Yeah.
We love cartoons.
Experience art.
And we feel like they are underappreciated as a medium in general, because I think that people have this idea that they're just for children, and not that that would even be a bad thing. Like, that, even that to me is, in a way, like, disrespectful. But there's no reason that medium cannot be for everybody. It's a beautiful medium. Like, let's share it.
Blake Elizabeth coming in with we have YouTube. We have YouTube ones too. They've got their own Twitch or the YouTube emojis that are different.
Oh, I tried to get Ishi's on
there they are.
On YouTube, and I had some trouble figuring it out. But I'm glad to see that there's some unique ones on YouTube as well.
Yeah.
That's for the members. God. Hey, are y'all enjoying this? Because
we should probably
there's gonna be more of these chats.
What do you rank Primal also?
So Primal for me is gonna be, again, I would rather not rank it having only seen one episode for myself. But based on what I saw, it's gonna be high up there, and I could see that being an S tier show if we finished it.
I'm gonna rank it A tier and say that it's probably S when I see it. I'm expecting it to be S. But yeah, I don't know yet. CJ said something about the ending earlier, so I don't know the ending, but the ending makes a difference to me. If you can't land the ship, it gets docked points, so we'll see.
Cool. You know, it's funny, this has kind of turned into an end
seeing
of year
Lucas
stream.
is the highlight of my day. Thank you.
Gosh. Take that with a grain of salt. It's Chris.
I know it's... Wow! Wow! I will never take that with a grain of salt. I will always assume that means more than it does. All right.
We're welcoming and inclusive so much. Thank you so much.
I really do really appreciate that.
Amazing. Okay, so let's talk Invader Zim.
Oh, yeah. No, let's talk Invader Zim. And by the way, people, feel free to keep shouting your favorite cartoons.
Alex
We're not going to stop you.
Let's go.
I was about to say, oh, seeing Lucas is the highlight of my day, too, until I saw it was Chris, and I was like, shut up.
That's so funny.
Dungeon Master extraordinaire. All right, so, yeah, Invaders... Oh, wait, somebody mentioned Foster's, and I just have to mention how much I love Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends, too, and the Powerpuff Girls, for what it's worth.
Welcome, DJ Star.
Yes!
It has been phenomenal. This chat has been absolutely stellar this whole time.
Yeah,
We've been having a ball.
I don't say this every time, but, like, for those of you who have joined late, it probably is worth hopping into the beginning. This has just been, like, a really fun...
This is a fun rewatch, I agree.
Once it's over, obviously.
I love you too, Chris. Also, there's one thing that you did miss, DJ Star, is that there's a war going on between YouTube and Twitch for who's donated the most in terms of... Or not even in terms of donations, just a war between which is better, YouTube or Twitch. And one of the evidence is who's donating more, which I'm fine with.
I had a shocking amount of people on the 2023 survey tell me I would rather only stick to YouTube even if there are Twitch-only streams.
Yeah, that's true. We did have a lot of people say that.
Do you still feel that way after this one? What if this was only on Twitch? But I will say that we're definitely going to try to make...
Right.
We want most things to be cross-stream. The times that they won't be cross-streams are pretty much when we can't.
Yeah, if we do cross-stream, it's more fun because this can happen.
I know. I'm loving the back and forth. Like, this has actually ended up being really good.
Courage the Cowardly... Oh, wait, I need to turn my IMDb list to a collaborative so we can all add our nostalgic cartoons. We should make it a collaborative IMDb
that
list.
That's a great idea. Very fun idea. Actually, Asmi,
we could do that on stream!
We could... Asmi, I almost feel like you talked about that before. Yeah, we might be able to, tell you what, if you create the template, you and I can talk, and maybe we can, even, like, turn that into a stream thing or something, or, like, find a way to, like, bring this... Yeah, I think that could be fun.
Bree, I will say, everyone who was at the Christmas stream knows. That was, like, the most wholesome, wonderful thing. That was great for me.
Yeah, Lucas had to stay at home. We couldn't be together for Christmas, and the people who were here, I'm also thankful for you, because I was glad that he had such a wonderful time.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
And that all
bonded for life, 100%. The first day we were affiliated, that was our first official, like... money-making Twitch stream. And it was on Christmas. That's so remarkably serendipitous.
Totally. Okay, I guess, yes.
Invader Zim.
We didn't talk about this.
We watched the episode that was Dark Harvest, which was, like, the one where it's, like, the organ harvesting episode, which is, like, pretty messed up.
There's some weird history about that episode that I won't get into because I don't want to get it wrong, but Google it.
No, you did get it wrong. That's actually, I edited it from the video because you got it wrong.
Well, I know we talked about this, but I'm still convinced that you were wrong, that I got it wrong.
I fact-checked you.
That's why I'm telling everybody, go do your own research. Search Dark Harvest history, and there's some weird stuff about it. Anyway, Invader Zim.
Oh god, I want to talk about it so bad. Anyway, Invader Zim. So,
you love it, don't you?
I know, I just can't. I'm so bad. I just want to talk about the thing that we're not talking about. I do love Invader Zim, though. I think it's a phenomenal show. I loved that it pushed how dark... Again, when we're talking about things that, like, cartoons did that nothing else did, like, I remember thinking Courage the Cowardly Dog was probably the darkest I ever saw a kids show go at the time, and then Invader Zim came out. And I was like, oh... Like, this isn't even dark for a kid's show. This is just dark. Like, in general. This is just horrific.
Yeah, it's not about whether it's a kid's show or not.
It's just bad. And, like, the writer is disturbed. Like, I've read his graphic novel, Johnny the Homicidal Maniac, which I do not recommend unless you are into excessively dark content. And, you know, I can't believe that this existed at all. And for that reason, I love it. It's just, like, so... For me, I would say that Invader Zim almost gets even more dark for my taste if it wasn't animated. Because it's in a way almost gratuitously dark at times, but it's doing so in a way it's never been done. So I think it's so funny and charming that I'm seeing it in such a way. And it is still very funny, and they do balance it with both amazing for dark minds. Yeah, exactly, right? Like, if you have that kind of a brain, it's a really cool show. I mean, I'm putting it in A tier, personally. So I have no problem putting Invader Zim. Okay, I'll put it in B tier, because there's probably more issues with it than I'm acknowledging just thinking about it for fun right now. But it's really good. It's good.
This is an example of Lucas and I being so far apart on something. I came at this Invader Zim episode with a really good spirit. I dropped my mouth when the mouth needed to be dropped, and it did surprise me.
I think I started doing cold opens in this one, right? Yeah.
But like,
See the vibe?
yeah, this will be fine. if
This
you
is
just show
funny
the
because I
intro.
could just show our
So
cold
serious.
intros.
Like as a kid, especially like a super positive, like
I see why people watch these. This is funny.
remember how messed up this. Yep. Ready, Alec? Ready for a journey to the belly button hole? No!
Yes. So I hate it. I'm just gonna be honest with all of you. I love that you love Invader Zim.
That's so funny.
This is like maybe one of my least favorite cartoons.
That was a good
It
job.
was. I didn't like it when I was a kid. I don't like it now because when I watch these cartoons that are usually for younger demographics, I crave the optimism that they offer, and you know when they're really good, then they also offer really compelling plots and characters and things. Invader Zim gives me literally nothing that I like out of a cartoon, like nothing.
Oh my god, you guys
it's
got
never
that echo
hap-
from the mic. That's funny. Sorry, go ahead.
And like I can't even really say that there's that many moments of redemption and positivity because it feels like it was
No.
built to be dark.
There's one thing that for me does have the positivity and redemption, and that this is actually a huge critique on how lazy and asleep human society is.
That's true.
And I really do. Thank you so much for the comments about my fashionability, by the way. I will never let that go unappreciated. The sword earrings are cool. I appreciate that too. Those my Adventure Time earrings. That was from the other video. I've got dinosaur earrings on right now. They're T-Rexes
My
that are
God,
hanging from
so
my
easily
ears.
distracted by
I'm
compliments. Finish
so
your thought.
sorry. Anyway, I would have to bet that John Vasquez art inspired Vivzy Pop. I believe it. I would not be surprised if Hell of a Boss got some inspiration from some of this stuff.
I can see the influence. And, I mean, Hell of a Boss, though, for me, it actually weirdly brings more levity than Invader Zim does.
It does. Well, for me, again, the levity for Invader Zim is actually in the relationship between Zim and Dib. Because Dib is like Zim and kind of thinks everyone's dumb, and both of them have this greater awareness. And even though they're enemies, their awareness and their, like, kind of weird hatred of each other for both having it makes them like love each other in a weird way, and it gives them this awesome relationship that it's like the Joker and Batman, like they can't live without each other, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I love that.
I appreciate it artistically.
Oh my gosh, all of these distracting compliments, thank you. Oh
Jesus.
oh my
Stop, everybody. I appreciate it artistically, Lucas. I do.
Yeah.
I think that yeah. You say as you continue to read your compliments.
let me just read people saying they liked my shirt. Thank you.
But I just don't like it. Again, this
No,
is how
I know you
this
don't.
is how I view cartoons. It's not about really I can appreciate artistry and I make sure to call it out when I see it, but usually like I just want to be happy at the end of it. That's my thing. You know?
Yeah.
Your thing is being like very nuanced and clever with your critiques. My thing is having a good time and keeping my mouth shut sometimes.
Wow.
Well, actually, having
That's
fun
not
and
true.
you're right, I don't keep my mouth shut. That's for sure not true.
Well, and you critique
like-
stuff too.
Oh,
You-
I
you
do,
have
but
cultural
I
analysis.
pull in the positive critiques pretty much only. I mean, because I don't know. For me, I don't really see the bad. It's
Oh
not
my
even
gosh.
it's not even that I'm choosing not to call it out. I just notice good things and call them out. And that's just kind of my worldview. Like I know that that's probably very annoying for a lot of people. It's like, well, it must be nice. But genuinely like that's why
That's
Lucas
kind of
and I-
my perspective. Like, oh wow,
But-
that must be nice.
That's why we're good together though as a dynamic. Because Lucas and I see the world differently, we see cartoons differently,
gosh.
and it sort of brings it together.
Mystery Mo, the best compliment was insert compliment here. That one really touched me.
That's my favorite.
That one
too.
really made my day. Thank you, everybody. You're all way too sweet. Honestly, I'm more embarrassed by that than the monies.
Oh my gosh. You really like...
I'm soaking it up. I'm gonna keep... Anyway. What are we on now? Bee and Puppy Cat.
This is an interesting conversation.
This is an interesting one because I want to watch it and I think it's gonna be good. But I think that I was really disappointed that the hype... Oh my gosh. Sorry. As me, I think my compliment was too much for YouTube. I guess it didn't come up in chat.
Oh wow, that's hilarious. Stop blinking, Elizabeth. I think a lot of people have very different styles of criticism. Yeah, that's true. I think I do well at harshly criticizing the things I love most. That's
Yeah,
interesting.
it's true. We do have different styles.
I actually am probably quicker to criticize the things I love the most, maybe. Because I almost maybe feel
Which
like
ones
it's
again?
easier to do it because I love it, whereas I'm less comfortable criticizing something I really don't like. Because, I don't want people to come for me also. But Even so, like, I do feel like I just see the positive and pull that part out.
Yeah, I try to maintain a positive. I think I get a kick out of the flow state of, like, reviewing stuff, because, like, words are fun for me, and, like, communicating is fun.
You still keep it positive, though. Like, I don't think that even when you were critiquing Cuphead that anybody, like, necessarily, like, took issue with the critique. So
That's
I think
fair. That's fair. I don't think anyone did.
No.
Well, maybe someone did, but...
Even though I didn't...
care.
But part of that is probably also that I disagree with you sometimes. So there's
True,
a
yeah,
there's
we
a
have
voice
our poll.
for it.
We have our poll.
You know, and I think that us
got a good
being a
dynamic.
voice for the dissenting opinion of each other makes people feel like they don't necessarily need to always say, no, you're wrong about that. So that makes it better.
Thank you so much for the compliments about our facial expressions for the intros and the laugh. My laugh is so noticeable. I don't not like my laugh, but it's very noticeable.
Being Puppy Cat.
Being Puppy Cat. I'm talking to chat.
I know.
I'm not being distracted. It's Asmi A just donated $20 to YouTube.
Wow, you literally went over from Twitch.
Also, I would just like to say, Asmi A said, "Look at these gorgeous men on my screen. Didn't know I was stuck on the model channel." Hey, I'm just saying.
Wow, you literally dropped a $20 comment for it.
I hate to say it, Twitch, but I think YouTube actually just pulled ahead.
That might be. It might be.
I heavily relate to your guys' personalities. Honestly, I love seeing all of this in chat because it's so nice to know that people are relating. Because I relate to all of you guys, obviously, in these ways, too. Yeah. Perfect work, soldier! Yeah, YouTube takes the reins. We're cool with it. Oh my god. Wow. Oh my god, thank you so much. Holy shit. Oh my god, that's such a big deal, man. Thank you.
That is the biggest donation we've gotten on this whole channel up to this point, and
maybe not actually true because people have gifted subs on Twitch.
That's true all at once, so that may be true. Whew. Oh wait, we have a new follower over on Twitch. Did somebody move over?
Well, no, that was a follow, not a sub.
Still,
yes.
No, I mean, did somebody move over from YouTube and hop into Twitch and follow in?
Given a little bit of both, I could see. This has such mom and dad are fighting energy. And everyone loves to see their parents fight, right? No, that's probably not true.
A model magazine. Jeez, people.
Oh my gosh. You are all ridiculous. It's a good thing I don't agree with you.
Oh no, the problem is not whether I agree, like, we absolutely belong in a magazine. The problem is just that you keep acknowledging it, like, let it go. Let the compliments flood in.
That's so funny. That's so funny.
Somebody did come over from YouTube. Goes 4II. Welcome, I love it.
Somebody adding some of the clout to Twitch. Well, if the parents fighting gives you money.
By the way,
yeah, I know, right, Mr. Remo? Sometimes it does. Sometimes they'll pay you off just to not be involved.
And don't feel so attached to YouTube, by the way, that you can't follow as well.
You just got more gifted subs from Bree on Twitch.
I was thinking it might be Asmi again coming over.
Oh my god, that'd be so funny.
Who actually, Asmi now just left a comment on Twitch. You are literally... You're killing me. I love it.
I want to see your reaction to Netflix and Being Puppy Cat and then compare it to the OG. Yeah, I am still interested in that. I relate with the HD.
Honestly, the hard thing was we reacted to the first episode and then we immediately got the impression that people didn't really like the reboot that much. That they liked the original, and then it was like, it almost felt like it was too late to cover the old one to, like, get people to care. And even this one, it didn't seem like people were that passionate about, so I don't know. Like, I think if we had jumped on the Being Puppy Cat train before the show came out, I actually think we would have been better off. But sometimes, like, you don't always have the foresight for these things. You think you've got an idea, and then it sort of, like, falls away.
I will say, one of the boys definitely does have ADHD. I'll let you guess which one it is. It's the one who's been talking to chat this whole time and has not been able to stay focused on what we're talking about. It's me.
Well,
it's me.
Listen, though, that was a good time to talk to the chat. 3 compliments.
ADHD team for life. I feel like that gang is getting bigger as the years go by, too, right? Like, I feel like more people are starting to feel like they recognize that they have.
Exactly. That's what I was going to say. Get their diagnosis, and that's amazing. Yeah. Being a Puppy Cat, I enjoyed the first episode. I felt like it was Sailor Moon-esque, a little bit bizarre, a little bit anime influence.
Yeah.
It wasn't that I didn't enjoy watching. I didn't think it was that reaction worthy.
It
was a little weirdly paced.
That was it too. This chat is so wild. I wait for someone to demand an OnlyFans.
No. Let's take a little step back.
Now I'll talk about Being Puppy Cat.
So you let this get here. We are way too far.
I'm not mad at it. I'm too funny. Anyway, I was gonna let it get further. Being Puppy Cat. So, the thing is, I think that this show is something that I would love every single minute of to death. And nope, stop. Chris!
We are done here. We are so far gone. Good
Oh my god.
God. No, this channel will never exist.
That's so
Let's be
funny.
extremely clear. Do you want to? Can you finish a thought?
I'm trying. This is so funny to me.
Oh my god.
Okay.
Captain Siegel over here.
Fuck. So, okay, you all might have noticed that we've never covered Owl House on the show before.
Yeah.
And the reason that we've never covered Owl House is because we've both seen it all the way through. We watch it when it comes out because we just love it so much. And we kind of, it's some things we don't want to cover on the show because, you know, we're doing it publicly. And, you know, some things we just like watching on our own because we enjoy it so much. Now, I might clickbait all of you into thinking I did an OnlyFans. That I might do. I might do that sometime. But you know, when it comes to being Puppy Cat, this seems like the show that I would love to death every single second of it. But for a couple reasons, it's like, well, that escalated quickly. For a couple reasons, I just think that it's like
continue your thought with your eyes closed.
For some reason, I just think that like I need to actually see it to stay focused.
All right,
I can't focus without things going on. For being Puppy Cat, I just think it's something that I would enjoy so much, and like, I don't know if it would work as a reaction because I kind of want to sit there quietly and just intake the whole thing, you know. And actually, I almost feel the same way about Primal, and
that's
interesting.
Yeah,
it's pretty tough to want to cover shows that I really just want to sit there and like have almost a religious experience with because I think it might be that cool. And for being Puppy Cat, I do think it might be that cool, but I don't know how well it would do as a YouTube reaction. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's very charming and it's like captivating, but it's not like you don't want to talk during it.
Asmi brought up Patreon. That's something that maybe there's room for on Patreon. We'll see.
If it doesn't work out, we can hang out on OF watching cartoons. I'm not sure what OF is. Am I old?
OnlyFans, Alec.
Oh. Get me away from this. I accidentally acknowledged it. I was ready to move on.
Okay.
Actually, Ishi is asking about a Discord watch party. That's a great idea. So,
yes.
Actually, I am about to try to, like, amp up Discord a little bit.
I guess
we tried to do watch parties on Twitch. The problem is that it requires people to have a browser, and it requires them to have an extension. And when we tried to do it for Christmas, it was super fun for the people who were there.
Yeah.
But a lot of people hopped in and immediately hopped on because they either couldn't figure out how to make it work, or they couldn't get to a browser. So, like, I think Discord's a really good forum for that because they're not going to get us pulled down.
Yeah.
And it's something
It's a community thing. We can't make money from it is the legal thing, right?
Yeah.
So, like,
yeah.
we can't have, like, a straight-up watch party where we're hosting something without a license. Though, actually,
but
theoretically, we could buy a license.
Well, I don't know.
We can. We could buy a yearly license for, like, a huge stock of different content that we could use for footage.
That could be a down-the-road thing, but we could also have it where moderators in the Discord may be able to run some watch parties that Lucas and I may not have time to do ourselves. I know Mystery Mo expressed some interest in that in the past.
Yeah.
We may be able to stream.
If some of you people who are a little bit more prevalent in Twitch and YouTube chat just suddenly become a mod, don't worry about it. That's all I'm going to say about that.
Well, and I was going to say that I may be asking a couple people to be Discord moderators soon.
we will ask first.
Yeah, we're not just going to force that on you, for sure.
But we do plan on doing that soon, if anyone's interested, so I appreciate it.
Yes.
Shall we go on?
Yeah, let's move on.
Oh, wait, we got to rate this.
I can't.
I'm going to rate it a B, just for B in Puppy Cat.
That's great. Actually, I will co-sign that.
We've done it before on Discord.
Yes, yes. We had our awesome moderator test doing them, and at the time, the Discord wasn't very big, so not that many people were showing up, though they were super fun when people were there. But yes, I think that watch parties on Discord are something I would love to get going. Even if Lucas and I aren't, like, physically there reacting to it, like, with our faces, we could possibly be in the chat sometimes, and hopefully y'all could have fun anyway.
You could live react to things that are without copyright. I've thought about that. Some of those are on the table. We could do some YouTube stuff. I have to really make sure that it's not copywritten before we do it.
Yeah, sometimes we think it's not, and then we're wrong.
Yeah, like one time we did the skeleton dance and we got flagged for the music, which you shouldn't be, but it was an orchestra that had a different copyright designation than the rest of the show. So like it still technically has an escrow designation, and they make some of our revenue money, which is so weird, you know. But yeah, so sometimes it just is sneaky. But I'm not opposed to it. We'll try stuff out.
Yeah, Shrek the Halls actually is a literal movie that is a...
Thank you for the follow! Welcome, T-Giraffe!
Yes. Oh, wait a second. I may just know T-Giraffe. Not 100% sure, but welcome. If you found this channel, that's so awesome. Now, let's see. I was on a tangent about something.
TFS reactions. TFS.
See, I'm not asking about another acronym, okay? I learned my lesson, and if anybody else wants to share...
Be, don't hug me, I'm scared.
Oh, actually, yeah, that's probably right.
I watched the Shrek the Halls. Hey! Blake is a member, everybody, and
yes.
Blake Elizabeth got to watch the Shrek the Halls reaction, which is only something that YouTube members can see, and I actually really liked that reaction.
Yeah.
I was kind of bummed we didn't get to release it, so that is one of the benefits of YouTube.
Yeah.
Point YouTube over Twitch.
That'll be on
that war going.
That'll be available on the Patreon, too, as soon as we have it available.
Yeah.
If you're more of a Patreon person, then
it's coming.
Remember. Yeah, now...
Team 4-Star! Oh my god! I haven't seen Team 4-Star since I was a kid. Oh. That's TFS.
Oh, okay, cool. I don't know if I've ever seen it.
Wow. No, we did. We watched it when we were kids.
We did?
Yeah, Alistair showed it to us.
Oh, that's what that was? The clay?
No. That was for the clay people, those weird clay motion YouTube videos.
That was a separate thing.
That was a different thing. Those are also something I wonder if you could react to. Those were terrible.
Yeah. Now, I was going to say that Shrek the Halls... Yeah, I guess the reason I wanted to say it is that it was available fully on YouTube. You can watch all of Shrek the Halls on YouTube right now in different parts, and they tried to copyright strike us, which we could fight, but we would have to take the strike first, and that's a hassle and a headache, so we didn't. But again, you can find it as a member. And if this ever happens again, if any of those videos are also going to end up on membership program. Also, that almost happened for Fullmetal Alchemist. In fact, they did give us a strike, and we fought it and we won. But we can't do more Fullmetal Alchemist on YouTube because of that.
Funimation is not cool about copyright. It is a fact.
Yes.
Oh wow, my copyright-free jazz is over. I have to start it over.
Oh wow, nice catch.
I didn't even notice.
So yeah, let's move on to whatever's next. Let me see. Oh wow, it's 7 o'clock already. Time flies when you're having fun. This has been probably. Well, I don't.
This has been a great.
This has been a great.
You weren't there for the Christmas stream.
I know. That's
the Christmas stream was something special. That was just something.
Well, I was there for the watch party though, and that was also special for me.
That was. Also love that flag. Absolutely, million%. You'd watch the 5-minute episodes. Very cool. Okay, yeah, let's keep going. So, wait, no, we were down here. Steven Universe.
Oh, we haven't talked about Steven Universe.
Nope.
Oh my gosh. Okay. So, Steven Universe. I know a lot of people have been waiting for some more Steven Universe.
Ooh, anime watch parties could be fun. Oh, we could get maybe we could get through a show doing something like that. We'll see. Sorry, I'm distractible.
Yeah. So, yes, Steven Universe. I almost am not ready to talk about this too much. Oh yeah, Alex, you should blame Lucas for bringing out the ADHD gang.
Literally me doing that thing and pointing in a comment like, look, it's me doing it right now.
And normally this is about the time where I need the streams to end, but I'm okay going a little bit longer today. But this is such a good time.
This is a good one. Also, the amount of subs and stuff that we've gotten today has like seriously helped. Like y'all are making it so that like we're actually able to do Twitch in like a financially realistic way right now, and that is like actually the most incredible gift for a content creator. Like
it really
my
is,
God.
Because we make YouTube money from ad revenue, and that can add up sometimes, but it takes a while. Yeah. Streams like this, we're not going to make the money from ads, you know, and we're doing this because we love to do it. It's so much more fun to hop on a stream.
Absolutely.
So it has been really awesome to have all of your support today. And also, again, the spiritual hugs and spiritual donations, all that is awesome too.
Absolutely.
Steven Universe I had never seen, and we decided that I was going to watch it this year. We were going to run through the reaction series as a whole. I have seen enough to know that Steven Universe is an S tier show.
Oh my god! Max Hatter just said I should go to sleep because I got a tour guide to the museum tomorrow. That just sounds very cool. Sleep well. Good luck. That sounds awesome.
Definitely. And somebody just started rewatching Steven Universe for fun. Well, you can rewatch it with us because we're going through the series.
Yep.
And
here's our first episode.
The thing that strikes me about Steven Universe is that everything feels so intentional.
Yeah.
Like, it feels like the creators knew exactly who these characters were, what the world was, what they wanted to do with the world. And it just has a level of charm that I did not expect based on the character designs alone.
Blake just donated another $10. I'm happy to be part of the reason you two get to continue to do this.
And we are happy to have you as a part of it. And extremely grateful. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mr. President of YouTube, our YouTube chat.
The YouTube president. We can't wait to see you in many more chats.
You are currently winning the war on YouTube versus Twitch.
Yes.
So thank you so much. Oh my god. Thank you. Wow. Steven Universe is a very good show. I'm trying to stay on
I know.
track.
Listen, I don't want to say too much about it because there's more reactions coming. In fact, 2 that we recorded. We have 2 more in the can. 1 is hopefully going to drop on Saturday if it clears.
True. I watched the movie yesterday too, actually. Steven Universe movie. I watched it with Noah.
And Ishii, yes, we would like to cover all of Steven Universe, including the movie. I'm not going to promise future yet.
Yeah. We're interested in it. I will say I started watching Future again with Willa the other day.
Yeah.
And it's like way better than I remembered it.
Oh, okay,
like,
so maybe it's worth it.
I watched like the first 5 episodes and I was blown away every time. So I think maybe I just probably wasn't in a good enough mindset to remember all of Steven Universe Future because I watched... You know how like when you binge stuff you don't really remember it?
Yeah.
I watched like all of Steven Universe Future in 2 days.
Oh, wow.
And I was not in the headspace to remember it anyway. So...
I got it.
Probably need to give it another shot.
All right,
so
well, I mean, yeah, maybe we will get to it. Again, it's one of those shows that is kind of an anchor for us because especially from the survey, we get that our core audience likes shows like Steven Universe and Centaur World and Dead End and sort of, they have a similar vibe to them, like really good shows that are good for like a lot of different age groups seem to be the most popular. And I think just having Steven Universe on the channel, it's not only fun for us, but it's something that people, I think, are always going to enjoy because it's a great show. The fandom, I think, is never going to die. I know that people maybe have been wondering where more is. I got the vibe from the survey. There are a lot of people asking, like, what happened? Or, like, is there a schedule that we can see? And the thing is, originally, I almost thought of Steven Universe as a show that we could drop episodes at any time whenever we didn't have more things going on.
Yeah.
And I'm sort of learning from the survey that y'all want the consistency a little bit more, which I do appreciate.
What Alec is saying is that our core audience is gay. LOL.
Oh, wow, that's so funny.
That's so funny.
Yeah, Lucas and I, jokes like toward the beginning, it's like, is our brand gay demon
Gay
shows?
demons, because we were watching at the time only like Dead End and Hell of a Boss. So it's like, I think gay demons is our niche. And
yeah,
I'm
like
we very happy with that.
And we would have been, I know, me too, we would have been watching Owl House for the show.
Yeah, and Owl House too.
If we were not already obsessed with it. And, you know, with our significant others also.
Yeah.
You know, that's a show that we watch with them for Owl House. And we didn't want to break off from that for the show because, you know, we consider that more important. And it's a show, you know, it's one of those things, you enjoy it with somebody, you want to keep enjoying it with somebody, not for the camera always.
Yeah.
But Owl House, I will go ahead and say, like, S tier, legacy show.
Gay demons describe me. See, that's the thing. I felt like lots of us would relate, too, because I'm like, yeah, I relate. That sounds pretty accurate. Let's go.
Alright, so I guess that's good discussion there.
Yeah, Steven Universe S tier. I don't have to even think about that. I'll go to another S tier right off the bat. Is Over the Garden Wall.
Oh my gosh, how are we gonna get through all these?
Over the Garden Wall, we did this as a special for Halloween, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we watched part 1, the first 5 episodes in that video, and then all of part 2 in the next video. I loved the way that we covered it, that Alec and I just got to watch the whole thing. You guys are all so wonderful. I love you. I love you all so much.
Ishii, there is an Owl House form in the Discord right now. Feel free to hop in there. Yeah, so there is a spot to talk Owl House.
Oh my god, we had 1,000 messages on stream today.
Oh, that's the first time that's happened.
That's never happened.
Yes!
I think that's the first time that's happened.
Great job, everybody. Amazing.
Oh, and you saw Over the Garden Wall for the first time in October. That is actually also one of my favorite shows of all time. I could not say more beautiful things about it. It is a work of
beautiful art.
It's S tier for me. I feel like Over the Garden Wall is maybe my favorite show that I
Wow.
watched.
Doodle discovered us thanks to Over the Garden Wall. Go
I
figure.
didn't realize that. That's amazing. Or no, discovered Over the Garden Wall thanks to us.
Oh wow, that's even cooler.
It really is, 'cause that is a masterpiece of a show.
Yeah.
Yes, no, I think for Halloween, like I want to watch it every single year. And
cheers to the
people,
chatterboxes.
that
Let's
was a year in the making because we actually got a copyright strike for Over the Garden Wall, the first 2 episodes when we covered it last year. I waited an entire year to keep watching it just so that I could have a blind reaction to try sharing with you this year that we did in 2 parts. And I was so glad I did. It was so worth the payoff. My favorite show I watched this year was Over the Garden Wall.
Yep.
Or Dead End. Ooh, that's close. It's close.
Yeah.
But Garden Wall, I just think
I've seen Garden Wall, so I can't. I can say Dead End.
it was a Halloween spooky cartoon lover's dream in every best possible way, and it was a perfect, succinct 10-episode show. It did what it set out to do. You could basically watch it as a movie. It's almost a movie.
It really is. I watch it like a movie. Also, Shrunken Alex said something about us voice acting. Maybe. We'll see. It's on the back of my head.
Well, again, but that we're not saying that we're going to jump on to voice act a bunch of people's like independent projects.
Yeah.
You know, this is a thing.
I mean, if you paid me, I would consider it.
Well,
I'd voice act for money. I don't care if it's a small project.
Yeah, I guess that's
if you
fair.
pay me, absolutely.
I just don't want to agree to anything.
No, I would sign a contract. I'm a professional. I'm an artist. I won't just do random stuff. But yeah, I mean, like, if somebody like approached me with a contract and said, "Hey, like, you want to be a voice actor for this thing?" Sure, that sounds awesome.
Yeah,
right?
I mean, I would still want to understand the role that I was getting myself into potentially.
Ideally,
you don't know what kind of
read
content.
the contract,
Well,
right?
No, not just the contract, but the type of content that you're going to be doing. You know,
Yeah.
I'm not here to
Dude,
voice
you know, I
act
own a
something
business in arts marketing, right?
Well, I know. Yes, sure. I'm not. I'm just saying. I'm not talking about the contract. I'm talking about like the content itself. I want to make sure that like.
Oh yeah, that's a good point. I would want to read a script first.
Exactly. That's what I'm trying to tell you.
Well,
he's not listening.
You're making it sound like you don't want to do it. I don't want to give that vibe.
No, I'm just saying I don't want 100 people.
The content would be the problem. Yeah, that happens. Yeah, there's some, I do cover a YouTube show, so I gotta keep it somewhat safe for work. Anyway, though, on to the next one, because obviously this is S tier, no contest. Oh my god, The Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy.
Oh yeah, let's talk really quickly about all 4 Halloween specials that we watched.
Yeah.
Which was Billy and Mandy, SpongeBob.
Avatar was a cheat one. We did the bloodbending episode for that.
Yeah, Avatar The Last Airbender and Loud House. And I don't know, I'm almost thinking about them as Halloween specials because we didn't really cover these as full shows with the intention of that. You know, we covered with them with the intention of seeing them as Halloween. Because, like, I could go on a soliloquy about SpongeBob and Avatar, because they're 2 of my favorite shows growing up. You've heard us talk about Avatar. We know it, like, it's a masterpiece.
Oh, yeah. I mean, Avatar's S tier. We don't even need nobody even contests that. That's
It's one of the best
obvious,
cartoons
right?
of all time. Lucas and I have different dissenting opinions on SpongeBob, but I think that you at least appreciate it as a piece of history.
Oh, yeah, like, in the fabric of animation, I appreciate it, for sure.
I love the original seasons.
I can appreciate some of the humor.
Yeah, I think there's some really great, clever jokes from those first 3 seasons
Yeah,
that are so
I
fun
think
to
that
watch.
it's not that I don't like SpongeBob, it's that SpongeBob's a good target for me to talk about me not liking formulaic shows, because it's the most popular of them.
Yeah, that's true. And I also would say that the first 3 seasons of SpongeBob are very different than everything that came after it.
Yeah.
Like, that is, like, almost its own show, and everything else is different. And
Yeah,
I
there's
analyze
eras.
them differently.
There's
like,
eras.
I've
I've heard some people say that, like, some of the most recent episodes of SpongeBob have actually been really funny.
I believe it. No, I'm sure that there's a lot of stuff that, because...
But I don't know. I don't watch it.
Right.
It's not, even if it's really funny, I probably wouldn't be able to get invested in it because it doesn't have a plot.
I used to be involved in the SpongeBob fan base.
Yeah,
like,
I know.
I was in, like, the online community for SpongeBob. I was seriously, like, a really big fan when I was little. And I still think it's great. You know, I think it's... For me, it's S tier for legacy, but I know that I know, Lucas, if you're factoring all content in as a whole, I see that would drop it. But again, I factor legacy very high in my ratings, so...
One thing, yeah, I mean, Avatar's epic. Like, it has a legacy because it's phenomenal,
yes.
you know? Because some things have legacy because they had staying power, and they were groundbreaking at the time, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Versus really good overall and still good.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And for me, groundbreaking at the time gets points, but it doesn't get points the way that, like I could watch The Twilight Zone and think that it's still
just as good as if I'd watched it when it came out.
Oh God!
And it's just because it's so well done.
Show.
Like there's nothing like just because it's in black and white doesn't mean it's inferior to color, for example. You know what I mean?
Totally, great point.
However, there are some times when you can't. Like there are some, like for example, a silent film won't probably be able to hit me as hard. You know, and it's not that I don't like silent films, but it's that it's slightly different. For me, formulaic doesn't stand up to, you know, shows that have more character exploration and plot, you know?
Sure, and listen, I know your feelings on that, and I think that's fair, but let me tell you what, Loud House, that Halloween special,
yes,
I think that is the
That was one of the coolest
underrated,
things that we watched, actually.
That is the underrated surprise of me for the year. I thought that Loud House Halloween special was so fun. I thought the characters were way better than I expected.
Yeah.
And it made me feel like that show might be worth watching some other episodes of to check out, you know?
Yeah, I was blown away. It really delivered. I mean, again, I watched it as a Halloween special,
right.
And in the context of a Halloween special, it gave me everything I wanted, really. Which, I mean, in regards to that, if I'm talking Halloween special, like, honestly, it was kind of S tier. And, like, I don't have any love for Loud House at all. Like, I haven't seen it, but I really was that impressed by that specific episode. And also it was Halloween, I was in the spirit too, so that might have an impact. But, you know, I'd say probably I'd rate the show as a whole a B, because I can't imagine it does that much. But maybe once I saw it, I'd be open to making it higher, because the animation looks unique. It looks like it does things that other shows don't do, so I'm interested in it.
Right now, Nickelodeon is making it feels like they are running a cartoon machine sometimes.
Yeah.
Where they are trying to pick projects that they think are going to appeal to, like, little boys and, you know, in my opinion, are factoring out their girl audience, which is especially evident of a recent project that got canceled, which bummed me out.
Yeah.
But it does feel like Nickelodeon, everything is designed just to, like, reach a certain market of kids, and that's why we're not seeing very many groundbreaking shows come out of Nickelodeon, and haven't since Lucas and I were kids, when Nickelodeon was edgy. But Loud House is one that has stood the test of time.
Yeah.
Like, it has been around for like 5 seasons, people have been watching, and that's what happens when you make a good show. You know, like, instead of trying to just spit out a bunch of things that are going to mildly entertain people, build something that's going to build a fan base around it. So, I'm interested in seeing more Loud House. The other show I know that's done well on Nickelodeon is Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Yeah.
So, you know.
Yeah.
There might be something to that.
I've not. Do you know the ARC games? I've not heard about that.
Actually, Max Hatter, I saw that there is a new animated series coming out. Cartoon Brew posted about this, or Animation Magazine.
Oh,
and
cool.
it looks beautiful. I've never played the game,
Oh.
but that animated series looks awesome.
Oh.
I'm very interested.
Oh, okay,
I don't know
cool.
whether it would be
Something to keep in mind.
Yeah, something to keep on back burner. What do you think
Oh,
about?
I've heard Nico in the Sword of Light mentioned a couple times. I think Epic Randomness may have mentioned it. Chat's been flying by. It's been a little bit harder to get to
Yeah,
everything
sorry
this time.
everybody. I know there might have been a comment about us playing Cuphead soon. I want to play Cuphead on Monday.
Oh yeah, someone asked us. Oh, I'm down.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
All right,
Oh, yeah.
Cuphead
We're gonna
Monday
play Cuphead
stream.
on Monday. And somebody also asked if I'm going to be doing individual gaming on stream. Yes. Usually there will be a little random and super low key. Because I probably will do it when I just have time out, you know, in between work and stuff. But yeah, I'll probably squeeze one in at some time this week.
Nice. Yeah,
Sounds
Lucas is
fun.
going to hop on some personal video game streams once in a while, so you're always... And that's probably going to be Twitch only. So I will say that if you do want YouTube... if you're on YouTube and you want to join Twitch, that, again...
Yeah, those
it's
will
okay,
be Twitch only.
It's okay
that's
if
true.
you want to chat on YouTube, but it really would help us a lot if you just followed the Twitch. Even if you literally don't spend your time there, if you decide to spend it on YouTube,
You have an
that
account.
follow number makes a difference, and we've gotten a bunch today, so no, we appreciate it.
Yeah, and yeah, I will not proceed in the Cuphead game without Alec, though, because we
Yes.
want to do the co-op.
Yep, the Cuphead will proceed together. Lucas is going to play a game that I probably won't be a part of.
Yeah, I'm still debating what games I want to play on
Honestly,
my own.
you could
'cause-
play Pokemon on your own and it wouldn't offend me.
You know, it's so funny. I have been playing Pokemon on my own file, not on ours, but
Yeah.
I've been shiny hunting and actually been trying to max out the Pokedex.
Yeah, no, I think that Cuphead's more fun because we can both play it together.
Oh, Undertale would be fun to play.
Is that cartoon related? I want to stick with cartoon related.
I want it to be cartoon related. Wouldn't an
Actually,
Undertale
though,
cartoon be awesome?
I will
Everybody?
say
That
though,
would
no,
be sick.
for your streams though, you could do stuff that's not
Undertale?
necessarily cartoons. Like, 'cause you could hop on and do anything.
Undertale, see, there are times when there are certain games that are animated in such a way that it feels like, you know, animation.
Yeah.
You know, like, let's say
That's
the
true.
Cuphead show never existed, I still would have been interested in doing the Cuphead show on our channel, or the Cuphead game on our channel, because it's still animated. Like, it still cares about classic animation, right?
Uh-huh.
But you know, when it comes to, I don't know. I think I'm gonna do Warner Brothers.
I do think
fight game.
Oh,
too,
multiverses. That's something we'll do together.
Yeah, because
sure.
that's actually like super cartoon related. They're cartoon coded. Undertale and
cartoon coded. That's funny. Yeah, that's really good.
I'm gonna have to think about that. They're cartoon coded. I agree.
Any thoughts on Billy and Mandy before we move on?
Nah, that Halloween special is like actually one of my favorite though.
Yeah, that was classic for you. As a newcomer coming in, there was actually other episodes of Billy and Mandy I probably like even more.
Yeah, me too, but I love that Halloween special. It really does great with like the lore of what Halloween can do.
Yeah, and I still think it's wild that Billy and Mandy exist.
I do have Undertale. I do own the game and I've never beaten it. So
okay, that's interesting. I didn't know that.
I'd be interested in playing it.
All right. Full Metal Alchemist.
S tier. I love Full Metal Alchemist.
Yeah, I've only seen the very beginning, and unfortunately we can't continue the reaction series because of the copyright strike that we got on that one, which we ended up fighting. But the whole thing is, if you get a copyright strike, it's a whole thing to get it taken off. So you don't want to start reacting to every episode of a show where you're going to have to go through that every time.
Yeah.
Would we ever do it as a Patreon-only thing? Maybe. But I almost got the impression from the survey so far that what people mostly want is just like uncut reaction videos and early releases. Not just that, but
yeah.
I'm not sure how much interest there would be in joining a Patreon just to do Full Metal Alchemist, but it's on the table. I mean,
yeah, I'd love to take Alec through it. It's one of my favorite. It was actually my gateway into seriously watching anime,
and that could be fun. Or it could be like a Discord thing, even possibly.
Yeah, you know, anime is a good point on this show too.
I know a lot of people would love to see us cover it more, but it's not always easy.
Yeah.
It's complicated because first you got the subs versus dubs thing, and somebody left a really good comment on the survey that I hadn't thought about. It's like they have trouble reading subtitles, so it's a big deal for them to be able to do the dubs that they can hear it better. And I think that's like... It's also easier for people to follow along in general with that. But more than that, like, it's so
oh my
easy
gosh,
to get your stuff
Asmi, thank you for another 10! What the dick? Sorry.
That's an expression.
I nominate... Wait, I nominate...
RYBY. Oh, I think I've heard of this. Could you, like, spell that out for me?
Starting with the trailers of each color. Or start with the reboot anime?
Yeah, see, help me out because I'm very bad with acronyms, and I
don't want to.
I already made the mistake of asking once.
I'm gonna make this mistake and look it up.
Oh, Rooster Teeth. Okay.
Oh yeah.
I thought that was just it. Yeah, I've heard that's very good.
I'm glad I didn't go into images. That could have probably gotten more problematic.
Possibly. By the way, is YouTube taking the lead?
Yeah, YouTube's taking the lead, dude. Asmi and our president and vice president of YouTube have been dominating.
Asmi, who started on Twitch, then crossed enemy territory and became vice president immediately.
Yeah, dude, I think Asmi just was playing double side. I think YouTube's on top right now.
Man, a regular Napoleon.
Is
that a correct joke? I don't know history.
Dude, I don't know nothing about Napoleon.
All right. Yeah, but I mean, I even have to acknowledge that Full Metal Alchemist, I'm sure, is S tier based on everything that I know.
See, Hug Provider, I was either gonna do the pacifist run of Undertale, or I was gonna try to do the opposite, the one where I like kill everybody and it's like extra hard at the end. I think I'm gonna assume you're joking, Shrunken Alex, and say I might have to put a soft ban if you keep asking weird questions.
Oh, yeah, great.
Anyway, onward. You want to do, Oh, wait, is that it? Are we done?
I think that was actually,
oh my god, that was it!
But, yeah, I mean,
We can look at our membership video.
Let's see.
The Shrek the Halls is the only one that we watched that we didn't get to talk about.
Oh, you're probably already a little bit too far. Try scrolling up.
We made a post about it, right? Oh, yeah, you're right, I'm way far.
Oh, yeah, it's the very first one. Yeah, this is just
oh, there we go. That's
for the members. I guess but careful because we might get a copyright strike for.
No, I won't show it. But
just know that it's a thing. Yeah,
I know. Wow, look! Oh no! Oh god! Oh god! It's awful! It's awful! It's awful!
Why would you do this?
Just kidding. Get me out of here. No, it was a joke. I didn't mean it. Okay.
Gosh, horrible. Cool. So.
Let's react and watch Full Metal. I'm always interested how other channels are the Battlefield go weird. I'm always interested about how people do get away with doing anime on YouTube, because everybody has different tactics. Like this guy that I watch that covers One Piece, he has like he actually hired a team of animators to animate everything that he talks about. So like whenever he talks about a character, instead of pulling a clip from the show, he has his animators literally hand draw stuff for them to do instead, so that he's not in copyright problem which is silly in my opinion, because he's legally like totally allowed to cover it under fair use, but he's like going through an extra mile to try to not get flagged, which makes sense.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of ways around things.
Okay.
Oh, yes.
I know that this is going to sound silly. So, Blake Elizabeth just said, Shrek the Halls does make me want to ask about if you guys are going to check out the new Puss in Boots movie. Have you heard about this?
I've heard that it's actually really good.
Okay. I have heard that this movie is the only movie that is in contention for Best Animated Film of the Year next to Into the Spideyverse.
Wait, Spideyverse came out like a couple of years ago.
There's a new one.
Really?
Yeah, there's a new one coming out.
Oh,
how do you not know about the new Spideyverse? And I do.
Is it coming? Wait, how?
It's coming out this year.
Well, Puss in Boots is.
There's been trailers already. The Spideyverse trailer's hype.
But Puss in Boots is going to be for the current award season, and Spideyverse would not have come out last year.
Oh, well, I don't know if people are talking about award seasons. I don't know if anyone actually watches those. But in terms of just like best show of the or best animated film of the
this
year,
that's interesting.
And
wow, people are saying it's great.
And no. The thing is, like, and I when I heard this, I'm like, the Puss in Boots sequel, the second Puss in Boots movie, that's a spin-off of an already relatively not great overall film franchise.
Yeah.
And it's that good, and everybody says it's phenomenal. And, like, literally everybody I've heard says it's, like, very, very, very good.
Wow. All right. Well, maybe that's... So, Lucas and I'm
going to give it a shot at some point.
When we have an active podcast feed for the new idea that we're coming up with, it would be kind of fun to be able to do, like, actual movie review. Like, I would love to watch almost every new animated movie that came out and then do, like, a podcast or discussion about it.
Yeah, I mean, I'd love for us to work our way into covering movies in some way, somehow... But, you know...
The new podcast will present that opportunity.
Yeah, that's true.
In fact.
But, I mean, I like YouTube videos more because you can do more... Like, it's with editing, you can create more of a picture. You know what I mean? You have more artistic design when you can sit in it. Also, I'm not dissing Shrek 2. Shrek 2 and Shrek 1 are phenomenal. I'm dissing the rest of the franchise.
For sure.
But we did it, right? That was all of our content.
We made it through everything that we did this year. If you're interested in what's coming up next year, feel free to watch back the last stream that we did, because we actually tier listed all of the shows that we're the most excited for.
Yeah.
And talked a little bit about what we might be willing to cover in the future.
Also, I need to change the thumbnail for this one because it messed up.
Oh no, that's too bad. It was there for a while though. People saw it in the beginning. Yeah, so, I mean, there's a lot of fun stuff in store for 2023. Again, we'll have Twitch and YouTube streams going on. That's probably going to be every Monday approximately, about the same time that we started today, with occasional Wednesdays if we get our work done in time, because Wednesdays is the other day we're going to do recordings and stuff. And then Lucas will hop on some random video game streams here and there. I unfortunately can't make it for all of them. Makes it easier that he has the studio in his place, too. Yeah, I would say keep an eye out for Gravity Bros, the Gravity Falls Rewatch podcast, coming back soon. And beyond that, the next podcast, which will also be available on video, that'll be later next year. I'm dying to get to that one, but I want to finish the work that we set out to do with Gravity Bros first.
Yes. Gravity, and also, yeah, that's just fun to talk about. I mean, so much of this is just, comes from our passion and love of, animation and the fact that we get to, fawn over these shows. So, when we get to do a podcast where we really can dive into everything that we love about it, it's pretty cool.
Yes. Cool. Well, everybody, we really...
Oh, Asmi just cheered 500 bits! Wait, on
right.
Instagram, or on... Not Instagram,
on Twitch.
On Twitch.
Haha,
okay.
Wow.
Asmi fighting...
Over to Twitch one more time for the Twitch side.
As he said, found the money. Alright.
Well, I love this. People, this has been really wonderful. Thank you all so much for participating in this. This has been easily the most successful stream that we've had so far with most people.
I'm absolutely over the moon. Thank you so much for the... Oh, you got a little rainbow unicorn, too! Look at the rainbow unicorns in the chat. These are so great.
Yeah, this is absolutely terrific.
Gravity Bros has done a good one to podcast. Next would be Centaur World.
You know, somebody mentioned Owl House too. That would be a great rewatch podcast.
Yeah.
But in this case, we're not going to do a rewatch podcast. We're going to do something that gives us the chance to cover a lot of different things in a very fun way that I think will make people excited to listen and watch, no matter whether you've even seen the cartoon or not.
Yes, indeed.
I think it's going to be a really fun way for everybody to feel involved. And I don't know. It's one of the projects that I've been the most excited for. I would tell you everything, but honestly, I'm so happy with my idea that I don't want to telegraph it and give anybody even the opportunity to try to do it first. I'm not really, but like that's how stoked I am. So we'll see if more comes soon. But there's more to come.
Oh my gosh! Thanks, Asby. Everybody, thank you all so much for being here for this whole thing. This has been a phenomenal stream. I will say it looks like YouTube has won the battle today in terms of one or the other.
Wow, I can't I'm genuinely surprised.
I'm gonna let all of you go to sleep because so many of you have clearly been staying up way too late to watch us, and I appreciate it. I really, really appreciate it. But have they won the war, says Bree. I mean, have they even won the battle? I'm still doing my goodbyes. No, I'm just kidding.
Stop.
No. You guys, for real, this has been such an incredibly fun stream. The playful thing you guys got going with YouTube and Twitch was just so much fun. It's been a blast to talk about all of the things that we got to review this year. Let's do this again. We'll do another like Q&A style video. We'll do streams like this again in the future.
We were seeing maybe every time that we finish a season of a show,
we'll
hop on and we'll do a post-show discussion about that show.
Yep.
And then we can maybe get this rolling again. And there's all kinds of different ways to do it. Again, fill out the survey on YouTube if you're interested in letting us know what you want to see in 2023.
Yep.
It'll especially help inform what kind of streams we're going to do, and we have lots of fun ideas. And listen, no matter what we're talking about, it's always going to be fun.
Absolutely.
So even if it's a subject matter at first, you're like, I don't know, I promise you, we're going to find a way to make it a party.
Yeah, we'll tie it around. We'll always end up making it positive and making it a good time. I think we're really good at... I like to think that that's the one thing that we got going.
Yep.
Nothing else. So,
sweet.
Much love, everybody. I'm going to throw some ads your way before we send you out because it helps us. But effectually, we're done here. So, I love you all. Thank you.
Thanks, everybody. This is great. As we struggle to find how to close this out here. Just twaddling around.
Just twiddly diddling. Tweedly deedling. Everybody who's also a member, which I feel like is almost everyone in chat at this point, isn't even gonna see the ads. So they're, because like ads only go to people who aren't members already and stuff, right?
Yeah.
We just keeping this dance going.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm just gonna do this until the ads go up and we close this out. Cool. This is over, right? They're seeing ads.
Yeah, they're only seeing ads, I promise.
Uh-huh. I believe you. Doing some fancy juggling. Hey, listen. Taught me how to juggle, too.
You think you could juggle it with the bird?
I doubt it.
Try it.
Hold on. Oh, wow, it's so different.
Yeah, the weight change makes a difference. Yep, only ads. Hey, you did it!
I did do it.
Yo, good job!
I wonder if anybody saw that. Yeah, Lucas taught me everything.
Cheers in the chat. We got a final juggle. All right. Thanks, everybody. You're all beautiful. Have a beautiful rest of your day.